Good evening, everyone. I am the seed that shall grow into the screaming mandrake child of ink. your DM for this evening, and welcome to Wish on Wednesdays. I'm still waiting for one of my players, but she's going to be here real soon. So I'm going to just give a quick update to what our schedule is going to be. So today we are doing Wish. If you have missed out on the first session of Danica's new campaign, which is also in this time slot, the VOD should be up, I think. It was super fun. On Twitch, the Twitch VOD, thank you. The Twitch VOD is up. So basically, going forward, we are going to be alternating between Wish and Danica's campaign Brave, which is in the same world as her Brave one-shot. It was very, very exciting and fun. So check that out if you have not. But that's how Wednesdays are going to be going until further notice. And actually, because she's always so good at them, I want to go to the players immediately because I'm going to throw announcements over to my wonderful good friend Victoria. Hello, Victoria.
Am I on the screen now, Kristy? Hi there, guys. I'm Victoria, and I have some announcements for you. Okay, so first of all, number one is a huge thanks to Twitch, OBS Streamlabs, Team MZ, and Many-Sided Dice. It is thanks to their support that we are able to do what we do every night with all of these awesome games. Secondly, the big one is that Proficiency Bonus is about to turn 2 whole years old. So on Saturday, July 13th, we're going to have some birthday celebrations, and we're going to have a charity stream of the very infamous module Tomb of Horrors that comes from the book Tales of the Yawning Portal. It's going to be DM'd by Matthew, who you may know as the player of Molfin, this is my cat, from Storm King Slender on Friday nights, or also as the DM of Tomb of Annihilation on Monday nights. The module is going to start at noon Eastern time, and it's going to be pretty crazy. We would really love for it if you could tune in to this celebratory spectacle and, help celebrate our channel's birthday and donate to charity. The other big one is that we're all, well, not all of us, but a lot of Proficiency Bonus people are going to Gen Con. Several people are going to be there, so if you see us, come say hi. We're going to be all over the place, playing games, doing all kinds of stuff. So that'll be really cool. A little over a month until that happens. And Ink already went over the schedule, but just another quick thanks to everybody who tunes in here on Wednesdays as we've kind of taken some time to figure out our schedule and our cast, because life stuff happens and, just took a little time to figure that out. But the schedule, like Ink said, is going to be alternating Wish and Brave. Yeah, and as always, we have games every day of the week at a bunch of different times. The schedule should be posted below on the below the Twitch video. But games every day, all different times, usually in the evenings, but some games are earlier, so please check those out. We have a lot of really awesome DMs and players running both homebrew games and published modules alike. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Proficiency Bonus. You can go and follow Kristy's YouTube channel. If you're watching this live, you can follow her on Twitter and check out all of our awesome stuff that we do. And thanks for coming to hang out with us, whether you are a longtime supporter of Wednesday fam or this is your first time tuning in. We're glad you're here. That's it. Yeet.
Yeet. That was adorable. I love it.
Thank you so much, Victoria, for those wonderful announcements.
I like butts.
I know you do. All right. Well, in that case, if everyone is ready, if someone would also like to do recap or some inspiration for today's game, which retains, so it's always good to have. Does not stack, but it retains throughout multiple sessions. Does anyone have any? Do I have any takers?
I don't remember.
I did it the first time, and I think Danica did it the last time, so I will defer to the other two unless they don't remember anything.
Zero memory. I'm sorry, my brain.
You can do it, Victoria.
Yeah, go ahead, Victoria.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so Last time was pretty crazy. We did a lot all at once. Oh, my roommate just came home. First, there was like this fire elemental that was looking for us, and he couldn't find us because we were really stealthy. And then Oz commanded the jerk-ass advisor kobold to flee, so he ran away. And then we were running through the caves and stuff. Hello, with the chest that we had stolen, which. They weren't mad at us for stealing the chest. They were mad because Felix and I reverse gusted a sword out of their treasure pile that they wouldn't give to Bubbles and Oz, who had disguised themselves as like dragon emissary people.
I needed it.
He needed it. So then we had ran through the thing, and Trick had like a little flame that he used to kind of like follow like where the wind was coming through, like the ventilation shafts and stuff. And then we opened the chest. We found a bunch of gold and coins. We found a blue sapphire like gem. And then we fell out of the caves using Featherfall. We divvied up our coin out in the woods. And then we decided to go to Chesterna Hills because Garen told us not to go to Crookbend. And then we came out of the forest, and it was really cute, and we could see that some of the leaves were changing because it's fall, which we didn't know before. And Chesterna Hills was like a very stereotypical hobbit town. And we went to a blacksmith, and his name was Benjen, and he told us some stuff about the Groggy Bow as an inn run by Merla Goldford. And then I gave Benjen a gold piece so that I could use his forge, and he was like really hype about that and is about to go turn up at the Groggy Bow. And then I was gonna forge some stuff, and everyone was gonna go get a donkey because we wanted a donkey, I think. Maybe. And that's where we left off, I think.
Yeah, I think we were supposed to go find the shepherds to talk about getting mules or donkeys.
The shepherds were there's no stables. It's very kind of open and free range, and with the animals. So they're kind of just out in the field. So if you had any question about procuring some animals, it would be ask the shepherds out in the fields. All right. Well, with that being said, so Temerity, you're going to stay and work at the forge for a while the rest of the party make their way slightly out of town into the actual rolling hills of Chesterna Hills. It's nice and breezy. I think I remember describing before, it's that kind of open grassland where you can see the wind as it kind of goes through the grass like waves crashing on a beach, and it's just very peaceful. It's about early afternoon, so maybe about like 3-4 o'clock. Took you a few hours to get here from the forest, but mostly just nice and calm. Still getting some looks of people as you sort of make your way through the little bit of the dirt and slightly cobble roads. Temerity, some people do pass the shop and kind of are like, "What? Where's bench?" Okay.
Because I probably have like a tiny tools for a small creature.
Well, Benjen was kind of a little bit stocky. I mean, so they're not teeny tiny. They work. So, but the rest of you make your way out to the fields. You can see sort of grazing on one of the hills, a various kind of there's some goats. There also seems to it seems that there's various shepherds of different types of animals. If the animals were crops, the hills would be their plots. So there's sort of different hills for different animals, all hosted with a few different shepherds. So there's sheep and goats, and you actually do see a few kind of mules and even cows kind of just grazing out in the fields between the various hills. So what would you like to do?
I now want a cow because we used to have a cow back home. Oh no. All right, I will go talk to one of them, or one of the shepherds.
All right. The closest group is just sort of some sheep.
No, we don't want
So-
sheep. We want mules or cows.
So you want to go out to one
Yeah.
of the mule shepherds?
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way through the grass, and you hear the various kind of and various other animal sounds of the livestock. The shepherds pay you less mind than the villagers. They seem to mostly just be watching their flocks. So you come upon the mules and goats, which are kind of more so grazing at the bottom of the hill, and a little bit of ways up you can see what looks to be sort of an individual with kind of a nice green sort of just cloak or tabard, kind of one of those kind of just all-encompassing body big shirt kind of deals. Has kind of a little kind of gnarled curled staff, big hat that you can't see the face, and you can just see little puffs of smoke coming out from under the hat as they sort of just play with a pipe,
Okay.
sitting up a little bit higher on the hill overlooking the flock, which you are now wading through. You're kind of little curious goats are coming up to you. One actually kind of headbutts into your calves, but
Well,
it just sort of
I'm kind of small, so it's like hitting me in the shoulder.
that's true. It's
It's a baby goat.
It's a
It's a baby goat.
It's a baby goat.
Yeah, I pet it.
Okay, so you kind of pet it.
Yeah.
Kind of the ears twitch.
So cute.
Yeah, it headbutted you and kind of was like, because you didn't even stumble, just kind of shit like, whoa,
It's like headbutting a tree.
headbutting our tree. Exactly.
Okay.
So you make your way through the various animals, and you can see you still can't see the head, but you see the hat kind of tilt up a bit. Little puffs of smoke. Hello there!
Hello?
How can I help you, travelers?
Yeah. We're looking for some mules or something to help us get a cart moving. We also need a cart.
Mules to buy?
I guess so? Sure. Or trade, I don't know. Do you need help around stuff?
Don't need no help right now, but well, hold on.
Okay.
And you see they kind of pull themselves up on their staff, put the kind of corncob pipe in their mouth, kind of lazily walk. It's not a large hill by any means. They actually kind of spiral around, so you see them kind of walk, and they disappear from view, and they come back and they're a little lower. They disappear from view,
Hello?
and they come back, and now they're on the ground. Come up to you, a little bit taller than you, maybe by like 3 or so inches. Now you can see what looks to be a just fairly middle-aged male halfling. He's got, you can see kind of peeking out from under the wide kind of wicker hat, some long, straight auburn hair goes to about the shoulder. It looks like some of it kind of falls down the side, and the rest is probably tied in a bun underneath the hat. And has this just kind of nice, cute little face. It's kind of pinched in a bit.
All
little
halflings
pinched in
are
nose.
cute.
That's true. All halflings are cute. Doesn't seem to be too old. Definitely, probably more so a new shepherd, or probably just helps with some of the older ones.
Mhm.
But these very, very bright kind of golden eyes kind of look at you and kind of look you over as you're a very curious, cute little halfling as well. Takes the pipe out. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Fastolf.
Fastolf?
Fastolf.
Fastolf.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Bubbles.
Fastolf. It's nice to meet you, Bubbles.
Nice
This
to
is a
meet
very
you.
cute name.
Oh, thank you.
So, you're looking to buy or trade for some mules?
Yeah.
For a cart?
Yeah.
All right. Um, well, I am always interested in trade. If there was a specific thing that you had to trade. Coin is always good too. Every now and then, we send various people to some of the other towns to get, who's its and whatnots. So coin is always good.
How much are the mules for coin?
Mule. Well, that depends. I mean, if you want good pulling mules. I mean, I've got some older ones. They get the job done, but they're not entirely fast. They're not entirely strong. They're a little bit past their prime. But if you wanted some of my very good mules, some of the ones that I've been using for breeding, those would come about at maybe 4 or 5 gold pieces for
Okay.
good livestock.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
Oz will lean in and say, "Sir, I simply must request that we purchase your prettiest mule." That's what Danica said in the chat. That's what Oz wants.
Prettiest mule. Well, I suppose that's all up to interpretation. Most of the flock is around here. Some have kind of started grazing around on the opposite side, trying to catch some shade from the hill. But please, feel free. If you would like, you could go up the hill. You can check them all out from up there. Or you can get nice and close with them. They're all very friendly. I would just ask that you don't, spook them or anything like that. They're nice and peaceful right now.
Okay.
Probably going to be taking them back into town within the next 2 hours or so. So if you'd like to take a look around and pick out a few, then we can talk price. I'd be happy to do the business.
Sounds wonderful. I don't know how to do an Oz voice.
Bubbles is just nodding, like,
You
excitedly.
just have to sound like kind of slightly curious and or turned on about everything.
Oh,
Okay, Oz will
like-
turn to everyone and
just
link
oh, thank you, Don.
link
That's very
arms with
good.
Felix on one side and Bubbles on the other and say, "Come along, darlings, shall we ascend the hill and gaze upon the flock?"
let's go! Let's go!
All right. So are you going to are you going to look at the ones here? Do you want to go around to the other side of the hill, or do you want to go up the hill?
Up.
All right. So you can see now that the various hills of Chesterna Hills, as you make your way up, they very much incorporate the hills themselves into everything that they do. So the actual town itself is sort of a cluster of hills, which seem to have created, the various Hobbiton look, various hobbit holes. But then other ones, larger ones, sort of off to outside of the town, are tilled in spirals or terraced for different kinds of crops. And then also there's these sort of just nice viewing hills, which seem to have they have a sort of corkscrew path to them, which is very nice and peaceful. And you can kind of make your way up one side and again all the way to the top, where you can see that it looks like Fastolf had prepared sort of like, it looks like maybe he had brought his lunch. Sort of like there's a blanket set out, just sort of where he can overlook all of his flock. So you look, and so often the sun on the part that you just came from was maybe about 6 or 7 mules, and then maybe 3 cows, and then on this side there seems to be maybe another 4 mules and 4 cows as well.
Is there a
They
horse?
There does not seem to be a horse here. If you would like to kind of, from your vantage point, check some of the other flocks, you can give me a perception check.
Yeah, Oz wanted to look at like a horse, but I don't know his stats. So
I'll help.
Sure. Roll with advantage, and I think he has like at least a plus. I think he has at least a +3.
ooh, not good. Oh, 17 plus whatever.
Okay,
With the
that's there does seem to be a few horses. They do not seem to be full-sized horses. Seem to be more like ponies.
Oh,
But you can see that they're actually kind of just either standing around in the sun, or some are even just sort of galloping around. They don't seem to go too far. It seems that all of the animals are actually just very happy here. They get as much space as they want. They don't tend to wander off. It seems like the most popular is sort of a painted horse. It's sort of that kind of brown and white. So like brown with kind of white painted splotches.
I think Danica does this a lot for Oz.
I just want a cute one. Cute and strong, like me.
Cute and strong.
Yeah.
Mule.
Anything. Mule or pony, whatever one looks stronger.
All right. Well, so you're looking at the mules now. So you're looking down at them. It does look like out from kind of both sides. It does seem that there are 4 mules that seem to be kind of in their prime. There's some that are younger, some that are older. It seems that there's kind of 2 mating pairs.
Oh.
Basically 2 males, 2 females. That seem to be kind of in their general prime. Females do not seem to be pregnant.
We should get one male, one
seem
female.
young.
I don't want to break them up. That's mean.
Oz will say, "Oh yes, of course. We don't want to stifle true love." I don't know. And wink at Felix.
Oh no.
Well, is everybody settled on the mules? I don't want to talk. I don't want to do all the talking because my character's not actually the one there, but the one's being really quiet.
I love it.
These are your guys' mules. I'll help you grab them if you can decide which ones you want, but I shouldn't be the one choosing here.
We should get one of the pairs so they're not separated. I don't want to separate them. That's too mean.
Trick seems to have just sort of found a nice sunny spot and is just kind of
Stretched out,
laying
claws
down
in the
for a bit.
grass.
Yeah.
Both kitty paws. Okay, so do you want to go tell him that those are the 2 that you guys want then?
Yeah.
Do you want 2 or
Can we
do you
do?
want
Can I do
more?
a check to see which of the 2 mule boyfriend girlfriends are the cuter ones, both as individuals and as a couple?
Make an insight check.
Is insight wisdom?
Yes.
Insight is
Yes.
Yeah, it
wisdom.
is. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. That's an 11 is the roll.
Okay, so you see 2, and they kind of like they're grazing right next to each other, and they both look up and they actually like boop snoots, and you're like, oh my god, that's so cute, and then you go, oh wait, that's the 2 boys.
Oh, I don't want to break them up.
Oh no, they're bisexual.
Oh no! What if they're polyamorous mules? We can't break them all up. We have to take all 4.
Bubbles, while I appreciate your admiration of mule love, I fear we may not have the coin for 4 mules and a wagon.
Oh, okay.
How far away from the shepherd have we walked?
The shepherd. So Fastolf is sort of. He's down at the bottom. He's looking up at you. You're about the equivalent of where you've basically switched places.
Okay.
He's just looking up at you from the
I'm
bottom.
gonna wave him over.
All right, just one moment, and you see him kind of start make his
little crook.
with his little crook, and you can watch him. And when he gets about halfway up, he starts talking to you. But while he finishes his walk up, you can kind of follow along the top of the hill as he spirals. He's just and he's. So, is there anyone in particular that's jumping out at you? How many do you want?
That's their decision. These are their mules.
Probably
All
2.
right.
2 is what it sounds
Two's
like.
good for pulling a cart, right?
2 would be perfect for pulling a cart, I believe.
Yeah. So 2.
All right. By now, he makes his way to the top. Kind of looks at Trick.
He's happy.
He's put away his pipe now. He seems to have sort of put it away. But he says, "Okay. So I can do 2. Is there a specific group that you would want? I would prefer to keep 1 male and 1 female. Just
Well,
that
yeah, I don't want to break them up.
That would. We are on the same page, Bubbles.
Okay.
Perfect. So who would you like?
I don't know.
Bubbles, darling, would you like to go down and perhaps pet them and see which of the mules has the most amenable personalities?
Okay.
All right then. It looks like most of them are all in the shaded area. So
I will waddle my way to the shaded area.
I'm gonna kind of sit down on the top of the hill and like watch this as it happens.
Fastolf stays as well, and he kind of just checks to make sure they're all doing all right. On a like further hill, there seems to be one of the other shepherds out with his goats, and it's close enough that you see the shepherd just sort of Fastolf just sort of a. And then then he notices that Bubbles is waving too, and he goes back to his flock. So you make your way down.
Yeah.
So there are it seems that they've actually kind of split off males and females. There's nothing that necessarily discerns them physically. I mean, there are various kinds of gray and brown. It seems like there is actually a very kind of a wizened old black goat that just sort of is off by itself.
So
It's kind of like just chewing its grass, but it seems like there's not goat, sorry,
The
mule.
cud.
I should
Mule.
say. But there is sort of a baby that kind of is like running around in circles, and it's just like. So the males are off on one side, the females are off on the other, and you can hear Fastolf kind of point them out to you from the top, and he goes, "All right, so there they are. They're very nice.
which one's with who?
All right, so that one right there.
Yeah.
That's Cabbage.
Cabbage.
Oh no!
Cabbage is with Pumpkin.
Oh.
And then that one is Pepper,
Oh.
and Pepper's with Salt.
Oh.
So you have Salt and Pepper, and you have Cabbage and Pumpkin.
Oh. Oh no. I want them all. Okay, I will go over to Cabbage and see how that one reacts to me.
Please get Cabbage.
I really want Cabbage.
I really want Cabbage.
I know Felix
Okay.
isn't staying, but there will be a different person here who wants cabbage.
Give me an animal handling check.
There it is, the skill no one uses.
I used to use it all the time as in my other campaign as Bubbles, so let's see.
People roll it in my campaign all the time.
Because we can't avoid having animals.
Well, that's a natural
No.
1, but I have my lucky feet, so it's okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's 18.
Okay, so
17 plus 1.
you seemingly somehow sneak up on it. But instead of getting startled, you're easily able to kind of like get right into the petting. In which case, it sort of bucks its head back a little bit, and kind of doesn't lick you, but kind of
No.
head bumps you a
I
bit.
headbutted
and
back. We did the headbutt.
Kind of just
Yeah.
stomps its hoof a little bit.
Oh.
Has very pretty eyelashes,
Oh.
you know, that similar to cow eyes, you know, very big, doughy sort of eyes.
Okay, I'm gonna go check Pumpkin, make sure Pumpkin's okay with me too.
All right. Pumpkin is sort of has missed all of the grass in this area, or has eaten all the grass in this area, and is now just kind of rubbing her snout in the dirt and just kind of.
I rolled a 16 plus 1, so 17.
So you come up to Pumpkin, and you actually pull some grass and kind of hold it under her, and just she kind of gives you a big sniff, and then just kind of
Yeah.
unrolls the tongue
Yeah.
and kind of pulls it back in.
Yeah.
It looks like she looks over at Cabbage for a bit, but you can't really tell because Cabbage is also with Salt.
Being gay. It's still Pride Month, you guys.
Salt kind of walks around Cabbage a bit, and just the swishing of his tail kind of whips Cabbage in the nose.
BDSM.
But Cabbage doesn't really seem to like care.
Yeah, first off, I think I like Cabbage and Pumpkin. I think they like me too.
Are you Temerity, did you go down?
No.
No, I was gonna stay at the forge. I mean, I could go.
Oh no, that's
was
right.
mostly-
Sorry, I meant Oz because you're playing Oz.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
Oz is there. Oz was going to kind of tap Bubbles on the shoulder and say, "Bubbles, darling, do you see that grouchy-looking black mule and the little baby one running around it?
Yeah.
The grouchy one kind of reminds me of Temerity, and the baby one reminds me of you."
Oh. Wait, I'm not a baby though.
Yes, but you're a lot smaller than the other one.
Oh,
Sort
you're
of like
right.
you're a little
Yeah.
bit smaller than us.
Yeah.
And full of energy.
And cute as fuck. I'm gonna go see the baby too.
Okay. So you go up to, so give me another animal handling check as now you approach the baby.
Okay.
D&D petting zoo.
18 plus 1. I'm on a roll, baby.
The
So-
mule whisperer.
So as you approach, the large old black mule sort of stands a little bit protectively,
Oh,
but then
it's okay.
seeing you literally go from doing this to cupping his face, and it just and you feel it kind of rest its chin onto your head.
And the little whiskers.
Little whiskers. The baby is doing like figure eights between your legs.
Oh my god, so cute.
That's a little baby.
It looks like a very, very fresh calf. Possibly like a week.
Oh.
I want it.
It is like small enough that it is
Can I
going
adopt all these
through.
animals at this place?
Hey, Kristy, You know what? Right now, we have proof that you love ass and ass loves you.
Full circle! They're so cute, I can't. So yeah, I tell Fastolf we want cabbage and pumpkin, even though I really want the baby, but probably not very safe to bring the baby with us.
Cabbage and pumpkin,
Yeah.
Alright. I could give you both for maybe 10 gold.
Okay.
What? Wait, so they're both 10 gold. And then how many? There's 1, 2. Okay.
10 gold
do
for
math.
both or 10 gold each?
10 gold for both.
Okay.
They're giving so typically a donkey or mule is 8 gold pieces. He's doing them for 5 because they're simple people.
Yeah.
They have plenty. They have enough.
Okay.
I'll put in 5 gold.
I'll also put in 5 gold.
Okay. So you kind of reconvene at the top of the hill and you give Fastolf some gold in a little pouch. And he says, if you want, I can get them, I can get them bridled up. I don't have a cart to sell you. I think there was someone in town that had a broken cart.
Okay.
Can they stay here in the fields until we're ready to go?
Of course.
Great. Sounds good to me.
That'll give
was-
Cabbage and Salt time to say goodbye to each
Oh.
other. and then Oz will look very pointedly at Felix.
Who he
They've
raises an
been-
eyebrow at.
They've
and
been close.
smiles.
They've been close ever since they were calves.
Oh.
They've always been close to their mother as well. They're brothers.
Aww.
Oh.
Oh no.
I thought they were gay.
While I have you here, though, we haven't seen a lot of it. You seem to be adventuring types. Felix, did you leave your weapons with Temerity, or are you still carrying them around in your hands?
Did I leave my weapons with you?
I didn't
I'm-
have it written down.
Because you
Pretty
you wanted scabbards.
Yeah, I wanted scabbards, and I wanted a dagger, and I wanted a short sword. But I have a dagger and a spear.
And I have my hammer axe.
I don't think I left it with Temerity. I think I still got
Okay.
them with me.
in which case, he goes, so, haven't seen a lot of your type around in a while. I'm guessing adventurers or mercenaries of
Yep.
some sort, considering
Yep.
the armaments. Probably is making a few of the people uncomfortable.
Why?
Well, you're just sort of holding them out. I understand it looks like you don't really have a lot of places to put them. So that's probably
Yeah.
why they're giving you the benefit of the doubt.
We run into a little bit of trouble. I don't have many of my things.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I wish I could be of more help.
I'm not asking for anything. I appreciate the sympathy, though.
If I ask, though, where have you come from? You come from east, west, north, south?
Where did we come from?
You came from the north,
Okay.
which is the Everwood.
Okay. Came from the Everwood.
Aye, Everwood.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a little bit of a scary place recently, I've heard. We had some loggers that used to go up there, but they said that the trees were getting sort of sick and stuff, so
Oh yeah, we
they
fixed
haven't
that.
gone out in a while. Oh, you have?
Yep.
Well, that would be very good if you if you see any of the loggers, most of them have just sort of been sitting around in the inn ever since. Do let them know, because they would actually really love to get back to work.
Okay, I'll let him know.
What was going on in there?
It was some sort of corruption, like corrupted magic, making everything gross and scary and undead.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all. And you said you fixed it.
Yeah, we destroyed the totem that was causing it.
Is that why you were called out here?
No. I don't know why I'm here. Exactly. I was told by Bahamut to come check out stuff, but I don't think that was what he wanted me to check out. So I'm still figuring that out.
Well, I'm really sorry. I don't know anyone by the name of Bahamut, at least that lives around here.
Oh, he's really powerful. He's a cool dragon.
Felix is like looking between Bubbles and
He's like my best friend.
Oz.
You see him, he actually kind of turns to you, Felix, and is like, she is hilarious. She would be talk of the town. You would be talk of the town. Oh my goodness, you are so
What?
funny.
I'm funny?
Yes!
Why am I funny?
A dragon in Chester on the Hills? That'd be hilarious.
Well, he's
Don't you
not
think that would be
here.
well done?
No.
Felix
Well,
is the
forgive me.
definition of that picture of that kid going,
Well, he's not.
Normally, when adventurers come out here, you know, someone has hired them.
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
saying that you were...
Bahamut didn't. No, he's my best friend. He just asked, and I said okay, because that's what friends do. If you need help, you help your friends. And he's like stuck behind like a divine gate usually, but I don't know where he is right now.
He kind of like puts a hand on your shoulder and he said, well, just bless your heart.
Oh,
"Oh
okay.
no,
You
Oh,
are
no."
such a... That is very nice of you to come all the way out here for your friend Bahamut.
Yeah.
And he kind of...
She's
he kind of like leans back a bit. He kind of like readjusts his belt, and he's like, well, if we are finished with our business, I'm probably going to move the herd, or I'm going to try and shift them around a bit. So, is there anything else that you need from me?
don't think so yet.
All right. Well, enjoy your time here. Don't wander too far out into the hills, at least on your own. And have a nice time. Have a good day. He starts making his way down. You see the little hat kind of disappear.
Felix
You
kind of
see
turns down.
the little puffs of smoke start to come up and start
Is
smoking
there
again.
something wrong with the hills? Should we be asking about? Okay.
Why did he think helping a friend was funny?
I think he just didn't know who Bahamut was, so he just didn't understand the meaning behind what you were saying.
Bubbles, these are simple people.
Yeah, so?
They might not understand the complex relationship you have with your deity.
Well, he's my friend, not my deity.
Right, well,
Temerity.
yeah.
So let me pull up what I have for you. Because you basically have a certain gold values worth of materials. Benjamin did not really specify how much of it you are allowed to use, but I'm going to tell you just how much is there.
We also have a couple of those ingots, right? Some of them were with...
You do have your own ingots, yes. That's true. That's going to affect this. Hold on. So, incorporating all of your ingots, let's see, how many did I say there were? 10? Did I say there were 10 ingots? The thing is, Jasper has some.
Yeah, Jasper had some because he had the big bag, so we probably had half, so we probably had like 5,
Okay.
I think.
So between those 5 ingots and the supplies that are still here, I would say that you probably
It was,
have.
sorry, it was 8 iron ingots, so we probably have
Okay, so
4.
you have 4. So I would say that you have probably about the 30 gold's worth of materials in metal to work with.
Okay.
Unless you break down things that are there, like he has nails and horseshoes made, you could remelt them down.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna screw over a fellow craftsman like that. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think I
would say
need it.
you can so you create things, I believe, at half gold price, I think.
So, well, for the that's for the wand category. Let me go back to just general alchemist because for wands it's like a quarter of the time and half the price.
Okay.
I'm not.
If there isn't anything about general crafting, I will say basically what we can do is you can either, the more money you put into it, the lower the DC will be for crafting this thing. So
Mhm.
you can rely on your skill to use less materials, or you can kind of just throw more material at it to make sure that you make it. Okay?
For my boy or for the other things?
Your boy is kind of is a class feature.
Yeah.
So he's going to be made regardless. So
Okay.
I would say separate that from any items that you craft for this, because that is your subclass feature. So you're technically using some of the materials for it, but I would say that this is sort of, you've been reworking this design for a while and you're not kind of just coming up with it out of the blue.
Okay. I don't. I would like to avoid. Oh. Whoop. Everything froze.
No, Temerity died.
Hold on. Sorry. It keeps freezing. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, we can see you.
Yeah, I would like to avoid using Benjamin's stuff because I didn't pay him for
Okay.
that much stuff. I want to start by using my own and then dip into his supply sparingly, but I don't want to break down anything that he's already made.
Okay. So he does not have. So you have, even with just 4 full-on ingots, you have more material than he sort of left lying out for you because he does not need a lot of metal to make things like nails. So I would say using just your supply from those 4 ingots, you have 20 gold worth of things that you.
Oh, Gucci. That's like probably. I mean, to do the one thing that we talked about, I feel like that would probably be like the most like expensive thing, right? Because
Yeah.
the dagger, short sword, and scabbard are just standard items.
Thankfully, so that doesn't require. So the thing that I know you want to make doesn't require any of the metal per se, unless you want to incorporate it. You can use just wood and basically intricate carvings to sort of subtly weave the magic into what you are making.
I'd
It's
probably
all
put a
about
little
how you
metal
want to
into
make it.
it. I'd
Okay.
probably put a little metal into it just because that's how I see like the flavoring of stuff for her.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to do all of it from what I have if I can.
Okay, so there's going to be just sort of a couple steps to this. So first, you're going to give me a just a Arcana check. This is going to cover preparing the materials that you need, working through the magical formula, and coming up with a schematic.
Okay, I'm gonna use the green one for that. Yeah. Okay. That Arcana is a +6, so that's a 15. I rolled a 9.
15? Sure. This is a pretty simple thing you're trying to make. Are you still doing the specifications that you told me off camera? All of
Yeah, I think that's I think that what we talked about is simple enough to do.
the 3 charges and okay.
Mm-hmm.
So next there is a wood carver's tools check to create the base.
The yellow one for that. Yeah, that's a natural 17. And I have expertise on all of my tool sets. So that's 18, 19, 20, 21 plus would that be dexterity?
It was yeah, I would say it would be dexterity.
Yeah, so 17 plus 6. So 23.
Okay. Yeah. So you get the carving out. You can basically with that roll you can make it shaped and looked any way you want for the wood portion. And you said you want to incorporate some metal into it?
Yeah, like just some little bits. Just so it's really cool and like a little spiky looking. Can I make the metal part be like the part of it where the thing comes out? I want it to look like a little screaming like fiend face with like little teeth and like little horns, and it's metal because it's me.
Sure. Okay. That is some pretty detailed work for basically you have a hammer, but so give me a dexterity smith tools check as well.
Okay, we're gonna roll the metal dice for that one. Okay. Dexterity 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14.
Okay, so it's not super detailed, but you can tell that it's at least sort of some kind of monster face. You have the horns, they go back and they actually spiral, and that affixes it to the wood, and then the mouth is open and the very tip of the wood comes out as the tongue where it will
Yeah, that's so badass.
So would you like to say what you have made?
Okay, yeah. So I took some wood that we had scavenged from the Everwood, and I put in a really basic light enchantment. It's not quite as strong as like the actual light spell, but it is basically like this wooden cylindrical like tube, and then it like has like another like cylinder of like metal and wood on the end, and it creates a 15-foot cone of bright light, and then beyond that it extends 15 more feet into dim light, because I know that the goggles that I had made that I had lent to Felix aren't gonna necessarily be working for forever, so this way when he goes off on his own he'll at least be able to see for like a little bit.
He gets a flashlight.
It's a flash. You have a flashlight. So this is a magic item that is empowered with the light cantrip.
Okay.
It has 3 charges. That it does that cone instead of a radius. It's a very actually unique variation of the light cantrip. Each charge will last for 1 hour, and it will regain 1 charge for every hour that it is spent in direct sunlight for 1 hour, so it's solar powered. Or you can also charge it with any
God, that's
sort of
awesome.
magical electricity.
That's amazing. I love that.
Are you gonna create, or do you want me to create a D&D magical item that I can actually put in my inventory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make a placeholder for now, and I could probably spice it up. So you have made. Do you have a specific name for it, or do you just call it the flashlight?
I didn't think of a name for it.
Why don't we come back
What
to
is
it?
the?
We'll come back.
We'll put a pin in that.
I'll just name it the flashlight for now, and if you think of something, then we can change it.
Okay.
Temerity.
So Temerity, we'll get right back to you in just a second. So you guys have purchased your mules. Are you just taking the time to relax? Are you heading back to town? Are you wanting to go talk to any of the other shepherds?
I want to look for a cart, and I also want to tell the lumberjacks that it's safe to go logging again.
Okay. Well, so both of those would take you into town. So you were told that Fastolf told you that there was someone in town he remembered having a broken cart, but he couldn't remember who specifically, and then he also said that a lot of the loggers have been mostly hanging out at the tavern, the Groggy Bow.
Okay, I'll go to the tavern first, because maybe the loggers, because they deal with wood, will know how to get a cart.
Alright. So, Felix, are you going to...
Yeah, I'll go with her, and I'll motion for Trick to come with you.
But Mr. Felix, it is so comfy here. It is nice and warm, and there is a blanket, and there is grass.
Are you going to be
Hello,
here
Grace.
to come back to find you again?
I believe I could do with just a little bit of catnap, and we are going to be meeting at Groggy Bow, yes?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
sundown?
Yeah.
I will meet. I am going
Okay.
to just relax.
Enjoy your nap.
I will watch the mules.
Good idea.
Are you coming, Oz? And he kind of gives them a wink over his shoulder.
Oz goes, of course, darling, wherever you go.
Oh, I
I'll follow."
certainly am coming.
Okay.
Okay, so one of us.
Okay.
I am basically Oz's suave brain, and Victoria is Oz's horny brain.
Confirmed. Together, it's perfect.
By the time you make the spiral around one time, you can already hear Trick snoring.
Oh.
Okay.
That's
You
a
make your way
kitty
down.
snore.
You pass through the hills again. You actually see, coming into town, there seems to be a halfling woman of darkish skin, kind of charcoal reddish skin, who is on a cart being pulled by a pony, who is coming into town, and you can see that some of the other shepherds are just sort of, they're waving, Charlotte, I wasn't expecting you to come back. Oh, hi, Charlotte, how are you doing? She's just sort of, hello. Business ended early, you know how it is. Sort of, but she kind of continues ahead of you and gets into town first, and you see her make a turn. So you continue you're going to continue into town. Are you going straight to the Groggy Bow?
Is that where the loggers are?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of reorient yourself, and you're on your way to the Groggy Bow. Temerity, is there anything else that you wanted to make?
Yeah, the dagger, the short sword, and scabbards for Felix, and obviously my son. He's
Okay.
being birthed.
So you can make basically the blades. Do you have proficiency in leatherworking tools?
I have like 7 tool proficiencies. I have
You have wood carving, smith.
I have
tinker's
cartographers, leather, smith, thieves, tinkers, land vehicles, and wood carvers.
Okay.
Damn.
There
bitch.
are. He gave you a few leather strips rather. There's enough so that you can make hilts, grips, and you can make the blades. You don't have enough leather to make scabbards. But so the dagger and short sword that
Yeah.
will use up. Let's see, 12. No, sorry, because you're operating. Well, so do you want to make them at full price for kind of a lower DC, or do you want to make them at half price for a higher DC? And do you want to do anything fancy to them?
No, they're just going to be basic because he didn't say he wanted anything fancy. I mean, for like, in terms of like the scabbards, I'm going to prioritize making one for like the fancy schmancy sword because I think that's the one that didn't have a scabbard, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll prioritize that, but I'm gonna try to just use what I can, like, from what I have. Like, I don't like the higher DC one, I think, to try to
Okay.
stretch the materials.
Okay, so we'll do them at half cost, so it'll cost 6 gold pieces worth of your materials. So basically, we're just saying you have 20 gold pieces worth of iron bars, and you're using 6 gold pieces worth of your iron bars. Give me 2 smith tools checks.
Hold on, I'm writing the amount.
And I would say you could use I'll let you use strength or dexterity. Sort
think
of,
they're,
you
like-
can either kind of
probably-
manhandle the metal or kind of be more finessed with it.
I'll probably do Dex.
Okay.
Okay. Jesus, what is my... Okay. 2... And you said this was the Smith's tools?
Yes. So the first one will be the dagger. The second one will be the short sword.
That's an 12 plus 6 is 18.
For the dagger, that is enough. It's a very simple tool to make. You're Skyriming it.
Iron dagger, just spamming.
Mhm.
Okay.
You fix it with you let it cool while you work on the short sword.
That's a 19. I rolled one higher. I rolled a 13 plus 6.
Okay. Short sword, it's just a dagger but longer. So, you know, while you are tempering the short sword, voice, excuse me, what the hell are you doing on my anvil?
What do you mean your anvil? Benjamin said this was his anvil.
He did what now? And you look, and this is the kind of darker skinned woman who you can now see is a very, very built, tall for a halfling, almost dwarvish. She kind of hops off of her cart and she goes, I'm sorry, he did what now? And who are you exactly?
Okay, first of all, I'm Temerity. Second of all, I came to town. We were in those godforsaken woods, and I wanted to make a couple things that I had sketched out some schematics for. And so I paid Benjamin, and he let me use the forge. But don't... I just needed to borrow the...
Bloody hell, that boy, he probably took your coin and immediately went off to just get drunk.
yeah, he's
my
getting
god,
wasted.
I'm going. And she's kind of like looking around the place and she's like, where the hell is my sign?
He never gave me a sign. I told him that I would make any horseshoes.
Stop talking. You just finish that. You have hot metal there. Cool it. I'm going to be right back. She reaches into her bag. She produces a similar key to what Benjamin had earlier. Opens the door, kind of goes in, slams the door. Oh my! He didn't even do any cleaning in here. I am going to wallop that boy so badly. And you can see she kind of comes out and she's got this big wooden sign with a chain, and it has basically, it is just the silhouette of a house in black, and it says the Charred House. And she goes, oh, could you help me please put that, let it cool?
I'll quench it in the oil, and then I'll run over and help with the sign.
She hangs it back on top. She goes, well, and she sort of offers you a hand. She goes, it is the unfortunate pleasure to meet you under these circumstances. My name is Charlotte, or Char Brimswellow. This is my smithy, the Charred House. Charlotte, Charred House.
What was your last name?
Brimswellow.
Yeah, good to meet you, Char.
And it would seem that my worthless assistant has decided to just pawn off my entire business for... How much did you even pay him for it?
I mean, I offered him a gold piece, and to him, he was like over the moon about that, and is definitely like at least 2 drinks deep at this point, probably 3. I mean, I would have been willing to pay more than that, but everyone was looking at me as if I gave him too much for a gold piece.
Well, I'm going to say that if you did actually use any of my materials, I am going to have to ask you for a little bit more pay. Because
No,
one gold
no,
piece
I
is
didn't.
not...
Char, listen, no. Char, I did not use any of your stuff. You can go ahead and count it. I brought, and I'll show her like the ingots that I have like left over. Brought my own stuff. Wasn't even making that much. And I already told Benjamin that if anyone came through looking for horseshoes or nails, I would make them, and I would have made them from my own metal. I don't want to take your stuff. I'm gonna scam another smith out of their shit.
She kind of looks you over, and then she looks over at sort of the various tools and materials that have been laid. She kind of...
I would have kept everything very neat.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna try to
She
leave no trace as much as possible.
She gets sort of like a little kind of ledger. She kind of... Ah, you did? Alright. You didn't use any of my materials? And she kind of looks at the sword and dagger that you've been letting cool. She goes, honestly, you do good work. Those are good blades. Though I'm a little bit curious as to why you would need blades.
Look at me, Char.
I don't like to assume, but you know what? Fair enough. Listen, you seem to know what you're doing, which is good. You have your own materials. You paid at least something for it. And you've given me a good reason to go beat Benjamin's arse, so... I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm gonna unload my cart. If you need anything, let me know, but otherwise... I guess you can continue using the forge.
I mean,
You do good work.
I'll help you unload your cart. I mean, and then I can get. I was almost done anyway. I just have like a couple scabbards to make. I mean, the sword's done, so.
Alright.
I'll help you unload your cart. I can give you more gold. I just wanted to make. I was stuck in the woods. There were these elves. They were really. I don't know. It was a lot. I just needed to use my hands a little. I was getting a little stir crazy, not being able to do work.
Sure, of course. Over here. She kind of leads you to the back of the cart where there's various sort of... There's just a couple crates and barrels. For you, even though you're not necessarily the strongest, they're not too hard to lift. It seems like just sort of various trade goods as well as some travel supplies, though what does catch your eye is this very sort of it's sort of 2 feet in diameter. It looks to be sort of like a little kind of stonework oven sort of thing. And as you're kind of going to get that, she goes, just be very careful with that. I just bought it. I'm going to be bringing it on inside.
Alright, yeah, well, here, tell me where you want it, and then we can carry it out.
Here. She unlocks the door and she kind of props it open. She goes, just go in past the kitchen, just to the back. Just sort of set it up in the corner there. I've got a stool. That should be fine.
I'll carry it. Ding, ding,
You have to kind of duck so that your horns do not kind of mess with the little like not chandelier, but like little candelabra fixture from the ceiling in this kind of low hobbit hut. It's homey. It looks not well kept, though you do remember her stating that it seemed that was also supposed to be Benjamin's job. So you pass by the kitchen, which has a bunch of like dirty dishes and stuff, to a sort of den area where there is a little sort of table like structure and a stool, and there's a whole bunch of little kind of shelves with little mugs and pots that look homemade. And you can see that a lot of what she is kind of loaded in is kind of what looks to be barrels of earthenware clay.
Oh, she's gonna do some ceramic work. She got a little kiln. That's so cute.
She got a little kiln. And you can actually see a very similar device, which looks very shattered, possibly slightly exploded. But you set up and you set it down. Thank you. That
Can
was.
I point to the? Oh no, you go first.
I was just going to say thank you. That's really helpful. It's nice to know that at least there's someone here that can do what I ask them to.
I'll point to the exploded kiln and be like, "Did Benjamin do that too?"
Actually, that was me. Listen, I'm a good smith, but learning new skills takes some time. Had some bad clay, air trapped in it, kind of went kablooey, had to get a new kiln, etc., etc. I had to go a few towns over to get one.
Understandable. I don't know shit about clay, so.
It is. I thought it would translate. You know, I can bend metal. You can bend metal to your will, but you can't get clay to stay in a little pot. Requires a delicate hand. And you can see she has very sort of calloused,
Big meaty claws!
some sort of meaty paws on her. But, well, that's sort of just, I was thinking about getting to work on it. If you want, I can leave the door open, get some nice airflow in here. You can keep working on the forge if you'd like. And later tonight, I guess, when Benjamin comes home, I'll have a nice arse kicking. And then I'll go to sleep.
Thanks. And I'm gonna stand there for like just a second too long, like looking at her, and then I'm gonna turn around and go out.
Okay.
Like I'm just being a little awkward, and then yeah.
Okay. So the rest of you make your way down. You pass the sort of intersection where if you turn left, you can head down to the forge, but you continue on to the Groggy Bough, which becomes very apparent to you quite early on. It is one of the Hobbit hills, but then there is additional wood structure built into it, where it looks like coming off of the front of the hill is a literal bow of a ship with even a sort of metal kind of figurine as would be posted at the front of a ship. And the figurine is holding a very simple metal placard that says the Groggy Bough. And the door, there's sort of some very faint glow coming from under the door. You go in.
Yep.
You make your way in. You can see this is actually, it's sort of a larger mound, so it's kind of nice and spacious, though Bubbles, for you, this feels almost too big. Kind of strange in a Hobbit town.
It's so perfect.
And what you can see is a mixture of wood flooring that's kind of been integrated into the hollowed out hill. So you've kind of got this weird earthy feel to it, but then there's sort of a bar and metal standing posts and little tables. It's kind of got this really interesting sort of blend of architecture and natural elements. There is a few people sort of scattered various tables. There's a woman that seems to be pouring drinks behind the bar, and there seems to be another woman that is currently sitting in a stool on sort of a little raised area in the corner playing a fiddle. Very familiar tavern, sort of experience. Just as soon as you come in the door, the woman behind the bar says, "Sit yourself anywhere. I've got plenty of." She kind of stops for a moment. She's got plenty of seats. Got plenty of drinks.
Okay. Excuse me. Is there any loggers in here?
And you see, there's two men and a woman that are sitting at various tables. One man and one woman sitting together, and then actually like 3 or 4 other people at the bar sort of turn. They like very kind of look at each other and they're like,
I waddle over.
to the tables or the bar.
Whoever's got their hand up to my question.
A few. So the closest are people at the bar.
Okay. Yeah, I'll waddle over there.
I'm gonna
Alright.
grab a table.
Sure. So you come up to the bar.
Yep.
And you see this sort of kind of it's a woman. This sort of looks slightly older. She's got nice sort of pinkish skin, blonde hair that's kind of tied into like a tight little braid. Doesn't go too far, maybe just a little bit past the shoulder. She's sort of holding her drink. She says, "Can I help you at all?"
So you're a logger, right?
I was.
Well,
Now I'm sort of town rat catcher.
Oh, that's boring. But I have good news for you.
Yes?
You log in the Darkwood, right?
The Darkwood? Well, I up
whatever.
north in the Everwood.
Everwood, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not dangerous anymore. We cleared out the corruption. So now it's
You did?
much safer to go logging there now.
Oi! Hey, oi, Rose! Did you hear that? And you see kind of a woman that's another woman that's kind of sitting a bit further down the bar, and she goes, "No, Mira, I didn't. I was sort of getting another drink. What?" And she just says, "These folks say that they cleared out the Everwood." And then you can see some other people are starting to actually look. You can see one kind of looks over at you at the bar, but then kind of looks at Felix, kind of like, "Oh, well, they arrived together."
He
Yeah,
waves.
Fastolf told me to come tell you guys because he said that you guys haven't been going logging because it was dangerous. So I figured I should let you know because it's kind of boring if you can't do what you want to do.
Well, if you're speaking the truth, then that would actually be great. That means that we could probably get back to get back to work pretty soon. Aye, everyone. And you can hear kind of a few like, "Oi!" and they kind of raise their drinks. The woman behind the bar says, "If that is true, and you do seem like sort of the type that would be doing sort of work, would you like some drinks?"
Sure.
And she kind of nods, and Mira says, "I'll even pay for them if they end up getting another round." What hell, I mean, we're back in work, everybody! And they kind of give another like, "Aye!"
Aye.
The woman sort of comes around. She's got she kind of looks like the Wendy's girl. She's got like little red pigtails, freckles, but definitely also sort of older woman. She's got little bit of she's got kind of the crow's feet in there. You can see she kind of leaves what you notice is Benjin, who is surrounded by various trusts. And he seems to already kind of be passed out on the bar, even though it's like
God.
it's like 4:30. She comes back around. She says, "What do you like to drink, lass?"
A good beer or mead is good.
"I've got honey mead."
Honey mead's great.
All right. And for your friend, would you like a drink?
Felix, you want something?
Something strong.
Something strong.
All right, I've got a nice wheat bourbon.
Does Oz
Get
want
those on
anything?
right quick. Oh, that's right. Oz is here.
Oz!
Time to have that drink, Oz.
I'll have a bourbon as well.
2 bourbons, 1 honey mead coming up. And you can see she seems to be running all of this entirely on her own. She's got various kegs and things, so she mixes the drinks. For halflings, it's kind of funny because these are pretty much normal sized.
Oh yeah, duh.
These
They're
guys
always
love
like
to get
that.
sloshed.
While she kind of puts the bourbons on a tray, and as she's walking by, she just slides a big kind of frothy mead glass, honey mead, and then she comes around the bar and she brings the tray to Oz. Comes to sit with you, Felix. Bourbon and bourbon. Drink up, you deserve it. She kind of. If you need anything else. Oh.
No, Kristy was muted. Sorry.
Oh. I was going to say, if you need anything else, you just ask for me. My name is Merla. This is my place. Enjoy your stay.
Can I ask the logger what her name is?
Yes. So you heard her friend refer to her as Mira.
Mira.
So there was Mira and Rose,
Okay.
and then this is Merla,
Merla.
the owner.
No, I want to talk to the loggers.
All right. So you're sitting. There's a seat next to Mira. Rose was kind of sitting a little bit further down. There are also some. There were loggers kind of spread out around here, but the first one you spoke to was Mira.
Okay. Hi, I'm Bubbles. Nice to meet you.
She kind of puts down a drink because she sees you offer. She was holding with that hand, so she goes, "Nice to meet you, Bubbles. You look like you're quite capable, honestly.
Pretty
Love the
capable.
guns.
Oh, thanks. Super hardcore.
Bet you've chopped down a few trees yourself, aye?
Not trees, other things.
Respect.
Monsters. Vampires. That sort of thing. Demons.
Much respect. I don't know who hired you, but I'm very glad that you kind of cleared out our Everwood problem. That means that we can all go back to work. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I hope you got paid well for it.
Not really, but it's okay.
They didn't pay you.
Well,
It's
they
customary
gave
to
us,
pay adventurers.
Well, they gave us some stuff to help us, but usually we get a lot more money where I'm from. But I don't do it for the money, so I'm not bothered by it.
Listen, if it was someone in here that hired you and they didn't pay you, you just let me and the other ones know. We'll rough them up for you.
No, it's okay. I do have a question for you though.
Sure, of course.
We're looking for a cart. We just got 2 mules from Falstaff, and we need a cart.
Oh, a cart. I feel like Arton? Aaron? Was it Arton? Rose, was it Arton or Aaron that had the that had the cart with the broken wheel? Oh, I think it was Aaron. And then you hear someone else. No, it was Arton, because I remember that he asked me if I could fix it, and I said that I didn't have the time, and then I sort of did have the time, but I just wanted to drink. And he kind of trails off. She goes, "All right, so I think it was Arton." Arton, yes, he's just one of the farmers. He was bringing in sort of his crop, and whole wheel busted off completely. Probably split the axle as well.
Oh no.
He's been wanting someone to fix it ever since, but it just seemed that no one seemed to have the time. So he's been trying to sell it. Sell it to anyone that is bothering to fix it, at least.
Where is Arton? Where can I find him?
Rose, where does Arton live? Is he the one that... And they kind of do the round again, and she kind of comes back and she goes, "Alright, so you would just want to go to the west side of town?
Okay.
You want to go past the first 2 hills,
Okay.
then hook a left,
Okay.
and that's where he sort of grows most of his crop. That is where his cart broke. He didn't even make it into town with it, so it's probably still sitting there."
Okay. Yeah, that helps.
Alright.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you kind of relax and you have your drinks. Temerity, was there anything else that you were building? You have your dagger and the short sword. They're cooling, and you can do the bindings on them soon.
Yeah, just like the scabbard.
Yeah.
Scabbards, at least for like the rapier. I
So
can.
you want to make like a scabbard out of metal?
No, like the pieces of leather. Like even if
Well,
I can't make like
the
a
leather
full...
are like strips. So what you could they're literally for making handles. If you want, you can try. If you have a belt, you could basically try and fasten it like a buckle holster. You would have to make basically the buckle or some snaps, and then have a means to affix it onto a belt. In which case, you could basically holster the blade, but it would not be the blade would still be exposed.
We'll just leave it.
Yeah, I can buy one later.
Yeah. There is also you could ask if there is a leather worker, but with the materials that you have here, you cannot make a scabbard. Is there anything else that you wanted to make?
I mean, I feel fairly successful for one day. Did I make my boy?
I would say that
Or is he gonna be like an all-night project?
I would say he'll be your all-night project. So you kind of you've got sort of the workings for it.
Could I,
Charlotte
like,
would
whenever Charlotte's, like, ready to go beat Benjamin's ass, I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's time for me to take a break anyway. And I want to, if she goes to the, like, Groggy Bow, I'll just, like, go with her, because I want to see her yell at Benjamin.
So she was saying that she was going to wait for him to come home, but when you express that to her, she goes, "You know what? I would actually like a drink, and I'm guessing that he's not going to find his way home. Why don't we go kick his arse?"
Okay. And I'll, like, bundle up all my stuff. The maid, and I'm gonna carry it over.
Would you like to help me kick his arse?
I mean,
You're tall.
I didn't...
You're tall. Could you like hold him up while I just sort of whack at him?
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Perfect.
Yes.
So you make your way to the Groggy Bow.
What time of day
Come
is
in.
it? Is it evening?
It's starting to become evening. You wanted to make sure that the short sword and dagger were finished cooling. You give them some test swings. They feel good. You do the leather wrappings on them. Do you take them with you, or do you leave them at the smithy?
I'm taking them with me.
Okay.
Because she doesn't understand. She has no concept of,
You see the shepherds sort of bringing in their animals, and you can see various people either going to their homes or actually more people starting to conglomerate to the Groggy Bow. It is the only drinking establishment, tavern style. So you make your way with Charlotte. It's become kind of hustly and bustly. I would say those of you in the bar have you could have gotten to your second,
I would have
third
gone.
round.
I would
drink.
have left after the first round and gone to go check out the cart before it gets dark.
Oh, okay. So Bubbles leaves. Felix, you and Oz are left drinking
Give
into
them
your
alone time.
your second, maybe third drink or so.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's good bourbon. It's nice halfling bourbon. But sort of you were just talking and talking.
By the way,
and you kind of lost track of
By the way,
time.
is the beer comparable to my dad's brewery? Like, is the quality like on the same par?
Well, you had the mead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
There's definitely a non-traditional feel to it, actually.
Oh.
Which is strange, because you would expect a drink here in a mostly halfling village
Yeah.
to have sort of halfling style to it.
Right.
But there is a very distinctly different kind of foreign, almost like a spicy
Ooh.
palate mixed into sort of the it gives it just like a little bit of there's like a kick, and then the sweetness kind of comes after.
Can I try to do some sort of check to see if I can remember what type of spice or something that I could take back and tell Dad later to try?
Sure. Give me a insight. Insight into the drink.
Sure, why not?
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
16 plus 1 at the moment, so 17.
17. It tastes like basically almost like a sort of subdued pepper, or close to. It's somewhere between kind of like a cayenne pepper
Yeah.
and paprika.
Oh,
Kind of like a little bit of a blend.
interesting. Okay, I'll just keep
Little-
that for
Spicy
future notes.
Little, yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit of heat, a little bit of smoke, and as it goes down, and then it kind of leaves that nice honey
Sweet.
coating.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I'll keep that in mind as I go to Arton.
Okay, so you're on your way to Arton. I would say that you actually pass Temerity, who is walking with this other halfling who seems to be on a mission, and she seems almost as buff as you, and she is definitely taller.
Well, most people are taller than me, even halflings.
Fair enough. You are short.
I'm a
even for
short
halfling.
halfling.
That's very true.
Oh, hi, Temerity.
Bubbles, where are you going?
I'm going to Arton's. I'm gonna go ask him about his broken cart if we can buy it and get it fixed.
No, come on. I literally just finished. Come sit down. Come on.
I already drank some. I need to get the
I'll
cart.
drink some with me. We can get the cart later. Come drink some with me. Look at all this cool shit I made. And I'm holding everything, and I'm just like,
Yeah, but that's all for Felix and Oz. I'm good.
yeah, but we're gonna kick Benjamin's ass
Why?
because he's an idiot.
Oh. Wait, you need help kicking his ass?
I'll look to Char.
Listen, I don't need anyone's help in kicking anyone's arse, but it's honestly very similar to drinking. It's more fun with more people.
Are you sure?
Listen, he's my no-good assistant. He sold my business off to someone, no offense, for practically no gold, and then took it just to get drunk.
Oh,
And
that's
he
your
didn't clean the
place?
dishes. Aye, that's my place. The Charred House. I'm Charlotte, or Char. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, I'm Bubbles.
Nice to meet you, Bubbles. So, I was just thinking, I'm gonna go get a drink, this one's gonna hold him, and then I'm going to just thwap him with a stick in front of everyone in the bar, and we'll have a really good time about it.
Okay, I have a crowbar if you want that. Just not lightly, just make his butt with a crowbar.
I do want him to still be able to work tomorrow.
Oh, okay, you want him to be able to walk.
I just want her to feel more about it.
That's her crowbar. I'm pretty sure
Actually-
he gave it to you.
Wait.
Yeah, it's his own crowbar.
Hold on.
It's the crowbar I got from him, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, did he
Yeah.
throw it in with the
Yeah.
gold piece? Like,
Yeah, he did.
So do you take out the crowbar? He's giving away my first off, that's mine.
Oh,
And she kind of takes that,
oh, but
and she's like, but
I start like giving her the puppy. I was like,
but
listen, Bubbles, it's hers. Just, I'll make you one.
just how about this? You can hold on to it,
okay.
drop it off at the smithy when you get back from wherever you're going.
no, it's okay, you can have it back. I didn't know it was somebody else's.
It's not your fault. She kind of
I'm
like.
gonna go beat Benjamin and I'm gonna storming.
So you go back into the garden.
Yeah, he gave me something that wasn't his to give. I'm mad. I wanted a crowbar.
Okay, so she kind of barrels in after you, and she's just. So Benjamin is passed out at the table, but she kind of busts in and she just goes, Benjamin Bottlebacker, you have a lot to answer for this.
Benjamin, you're in trouble!
And the fiddler stops. Felix, you and Oz are sort of in a kind of.
Mid-drink, like,
There's kind of like some quiet.
Can I follow
everyone
turkey while she says that to make all the flames on like the candles like burn a little brighter, just so it's extra spooky?
Sure. So everyone kind of is like, and they kind of, and you hear one person very, very quietly go, "Hi, Charlotte." And can see Merla is like, "Nice to see you again, Charlotte. What's all this about?"
I'm gonna go slam my fist right where he's sleeping, like right beside his head, like.
Alright. He kind of, oh, too loud, too loud, too
Do it again.
loud. Oh, and she goes, all right. And Merla's like, all right, what is this about? What is this about? But Charlotte, you can't just come in. I haven't seen you in so long. Why don't you come in, have a drink, and tell me why you are coming in?
He gave me a stolen crowbar.
What? And Charlotte kind of steps forward and goes, I was away on business, and I told this one, she kind of pokes him in the face, and then she kind of just like flicks his nose around, and he's like, stop. She goes, I told this one to watch the shop, not rent it out, and then come and drink to your merry content. You're not working, you didn't do the dishes, you're giving away my tools, and you took down the sign. I bet he was calling it... I bet you called it Benjamin's place, didn't you?
He did!
It's not even a good name, Benjamin!
He said it was Benjamin's place!
And you can see he's sort of like what? No, I was hi, hey Charlotte.
Can I hit him with the crowbar now, Charlotte?
She goes, not yet. And she kind of grabs him by the scruff and she goes, so, Benjamin, when were you gonna tell me that you were renting out my place to any random person that decided to come in? He goes, I was planning on not telling you because you weren't supposed to be back in town yet.
So you were gonna lie?
I mean, I was in charge of it while she was gone. She kind of she kicks his ear and twists it. And he's like,
Can I like?
Charlotte,
I'm
please.
gonna put down all the stuff onto like a table, and I kind of want to like bend down and grab him like by like the scruff there, because she's got him by the ear. Can I like try to pick him up?
Sure. Give me an athletics check. He's too drunk to even really be able to resist.
Ooh. Athletics? 16.
Alright. So you just kind of lift him up with your metal arm, and you can hear some of the people kind of like they're leaning in, and they're like, what's gonna happen? She takes the crowbar and she's patting his like little like beer gut, and she's like, I should just string you up on a tree and whack you around until the sun comes up and see what comes out of you. But I need you to come into work tomorrow, so I think I'll just give you a little bit of a warning. And he's like, yeah, just a warning. She's like, oh, I'm kidding.
I punched him in the face. I punched him in the face.
Roll for an attack. With advantage because he's
natural
grappled.
20. I rolled a 4 and a natural 20.
So how much damage is that?
Well, because it's just my fist, so it's plus my strength.
1 plus strength. So what, 5?
So it's 4 damage.
All right.
Plus times 2, so. So it's actually
No, there's no dice on that, so how does that work?
Yeah, you don't.
You just double the one, so it's
Double
probably
the one?
2 plus 4.
okay. So that's 6.
Yeah, because you don't double your modifiers.
He's a civilian, so you just bop, and she just goes. And Charlotte kind of looks at. He's unconscious.
Okay.
And Charlotte looks at you.
I'm not doing lethal. I'm not even raging.
I know.
Charlotte looks at you and she goes, "Well, that sort of took all the fun out of it."
You can wake him up and do it again.
And she
Man,
kind of.
Bubbles, I was gonna tell him about, like, honor among craftsmen, and now he's just...
She like pulls out a health potion and kind of holds it up and like shakes it at Temerity.
We don't need any of that. You know what? Temerity, just put him down on the floor, and when he wakes up, I'll deal with him then. And she just takes his seat where he was at the bar, takes his unfinished drink, drinks it, and she goes, "So, Merla, it's nice to see you." And they just start catching.
I'm gonna go storm off and find the cart because I'm angry that I lost my crowbar.
All right. So give me a Constitution check for Oz, and Felix, give me a Constitution check.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do the pink one for Oz. For this, a 12. I don't know what his modifier is.
Well, Oz is drunk.
Felix rolled a 19.
Felix is feeling good, and has just kind of been playfully watching as Oz gets tipsier and tipsier.
He's like
and
doing that like sit back in his chair where he's like that very cocky like sit back in his chair with his hand on his cup, just smiling and watching him.
They're probably talking, and Oz is probably, like, every once in a while just doing, like, the little hand brush on the knee as they're talking.
and while you're talking, and Oz sort of kind of trails off, and you're sort of just looking, you're looking in your drink, and you sit, and suddenly, you hear a voice in your head.
Okay.
And the voice says, "Master Felix, I'm here with a Mr. Gallant. He is waiting for you in Shea Friston to the east. He says, come in one piece."
Okay. So, if anybody's actually paying attention, he's sitting there and he's watching Oz and his face just kind of goes blank for a second. I don't think he's ever experienced this before. So he kind of listens to it. He doesn't know that he can respond. He's never experienced this before, so he doesn't know that he can respond. So he just kind of... And then comes back to... They didn't tell him he could.
I would say if you want, you can try and roll an Arcana check to see if you've heard about this spell before.
I will, because I have a -1 to Arcana, but I rolled a 16.
Okay. You at least know that there is magic that allows people to speak across great distances. You obviously recognize Gallant.
Yeah.
East is the direction that you were going.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember anything about Shea Friston, and you don't recognize this voice.
Okay.
But we do.
So he just... Okay, stranger. Tell him I'm fine, and I'll meet him there.
Alright. And with that, we're gonna go to break.
Hell yeah. Alright. BRB, fam. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for the raid. Many-sided dice, or 20-sided dice for every story. Thank you. And we will be back in about 5 to 7 minutes for a quick refreshment break.
back.
Welcome back, everyone, to Wish. Shocking possible character revelation there. But the moment passes. Temerity,
Yeah. He's
Felix.
real quiet now, though.
You can see Oz has gotten considerably drunk. You are offered drinks as well, as you are very clearly part of this group of people. They're on the house. If you would like that.
Oh yeah, she just wants like freaking like the medieval fantasy equivalent of like some fireball shots.
Fireball whiskey. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's got a little dragon head cap. Anyway,
Nice.
careful, it bites. She pours you one. There's
So do
actually
I.
like
And they show up my
it-
teeth.
it kind of. She kind of like. She's, ooh, feisty. It bubbles. The drink is kind of a reddish orange, and it bubbles as if it's carbonated, and the bubbles pop into little wisps of smoke.
Oh, I'm not there.
That's for temerity.
Oh,
Actual bubbles.
Actual like,
bubbles.
literal bubbles.
There are actual bubbles.
You're like, and bubbles, and I'm like, yes.
But
I pound it.
so I will go to you, Bubbles. So you take your time. So the sun is starting to set. You're kind of passing. You're passing through a lot of people. You don't get as many looks walking alone, save for a few. There is one child that's like, "Where did you get your big hammer?"
Oh God, what's the place is called?
Mommy, look! She's got a big hammer. She's so strong.
Aw.
oh, thanks.
And his sister is like, I can be just as strong as her. He's like, no, you can't. You're a girl. And she's like, oh, really?
I'm a girl.
And he's like, he kind of looks, and he's like, yeah, well,
Yeah, well, she could be just as strong and hardcore as me one day. And so can you.
okay,
Boys
okay,
and girls
fine.
don't matter. It's okay. You can both be strong.
okay.
Okay.
But-
But
I want to have the big hammer, and she can have the big axe.
that's fair. Both are really strong.
Kind of giggle. She's like, their mother's like, children in the house, please.
Telling kids they can have weapons one day.
Do not bother the nice adventurer girl. She ushers them inside and closes the door. You make your way out of the town. Pass through the hills. You can see the cattle are now gone. It's kind of peaceful. You see the sun setting behind you. I think because she's no wait, yeah. He said go to the east part of the So it's setting behind you, between two hills. You kind of hook around one, and you come to where there's actually sort of a little shack on top of the hill, and then there is that kind of spiral terrace, but only on one side, so kind of like a semicircle of crops that lead like stairwells, and you can see at the bottom of the hill, or actually a little bit up the hill, I should say. It's a cart. One wheel completely popped off of it. It looks like all of the crops have been taken off of it. And there's little puffs of smoke coming out of the top of the hill as sort of a the fall is definitely happening. There's kind of a cheesy night, chilly.
Cheesy. Hell
I tried to say breezy
Cheesy
and
and chilly. Yes.
Cheese whiz begins to pour from the sky.
Hell yes. Cloudy with the side of
There's-
meatballs. Bring it.
There is a chilly breeze
Okay.
that kind of is sweeping through the hills now as the sun begins to set. You see no person, but smoke coming out of the little shack built out of the top of the hill.
I go knock on the door.
Who's it?
My name's Bubbles. I hear you have a cart for sale.
And you very, very quickly hear. Oh, so, hello.
Hi.
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 Cart. Yes, I'm selling a cart.
You're
Wanna buy
Arjun,
it?
right?
Hi, Artin.
Hi. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Artin Grart.
Nice to meet you. I'm Bubbles.
Nice to meet you, Bubbles. So you want to buy the cart? You want to buy the cart?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
How much you got?
Well, how much do you want for it?
Well, I was asking for at least... Listen, I know that one of the wheels are gone, but that means that the majority of it is still good. That's 3 good wheels included.
Mm-hmm.
You can hook up any good old animal to it. I'm asking for 25 gold.
25 gold for a broken
Oh.
cart?
That's
But it doesn't even
It's
have
not-
4 wheels. Where's
it's
the other
just-
wheel?
3 wheels are included.
Yeah, but
Don't
like,
think about it as 1 wheel missing. There's 3.
but there is 1 wheel missing.
25 gold. 20 gold.
I have 9 gold and 42 silver. That's all I got.
Are you gonna fix
Please?
it yourself?
Well, yeah, who else is gonna fix it? Do you know how?
No.
Well, then I'm gonna have to find someone else to fix it.
It's just, it's my only cart, and that means that I've had to take all of my crop into town, by hand, and it's just really hard, and so I'm just hoping to get enough coin that I could, buy another cart. It's mostly good. It's a very good cart.
Well, do you need help around the house? I could, help labor-wise. I could carry things if you need help carrying things.
I mean, if I've got a little bit more of the harvest. If you wanted to carry them into town,
Sure.
I could probably knock off some of the price of the cart.
Okay. Do you want the
Especially-
9 gold and 42 silver?
I would actually love that. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I hand him all my money.
Well, thank you so much, Bubbles. I will see you bright and early at about 5 in the morning, and we'll finish off the harvest, and we'll take it into town, and that cart will be all yours.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye. I'm gonna go over to the cart and cast Prestidigitation to make it look clean.
All right.
Because I forgot I have that cantrip.
You get like the soil and stuff sort of off of it.
Okay.
It is actually a nicely put together cart. It's not all wood. There are metal reinforcements to it. And a very, very strong sort of hitch. And it actually looks like he's put a little hook. He's put a little bail or something kind of on the end of it so that you could actually hook up another cart to it.
Oh.
Sort of like train
Yeah.
cart
the,
style.
Yeah. The hook at the
Mhm.
end. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. I go back to the inn and tell everybody my successful adventure of getting a cart.
All right. Come back to the inn. Give me one more Constitution check for Oz at disadvantage.
Okay.
Do you want me to do one too?
You do one, and in temerity, you'll give me one.
Oh,
That's a 7.
I also
For
rolled a
Oz?
7.
Yeah.
Okay, so Oz is unconscious.
Oh no!
He has not had proper booze in so long. He just drank purposefully until he was happily under the table. Felix,
Oh, wow.
you're starting to feel it now. They keep on bringing you more drinks. So you're on your 5th.
I think I'll stop now.
Okay. And Temerity, how
got
much?
a natural 20.
Temerity is knocking back this fire whiskey. Your tiefling resilience to fire seems to be making it so that you're knocking down shots of it. You're like, it's like water.
I'm gonna after I've like had a couple like sitting at a table by myself like with the swords and stuff on it, I'm gonna like pick them up and I'm gonna sidle in between the like mostly unconscious Oz and Felix, like really awkwardly, like not understanding what was happening.
Oh,
And I'm just gonna like dump the stuff on the bar and be like, all right, Felix.
Yes. Yes,
Alright.
Temerity.
All right,
How are
So-
you?
I'm great. I feel
Good.
great.
I'm glad.
Okay, so, and I'll pass the dagger over. I made this dagger.
He's like turning him over in his hand,
Well made.
examining the blade.
Basic. Sharp.
I made this short sword. Pass that over.
And again, examining the blade. These are pretty
Well
well
balanced.
made, Temerity. Yeah, and he's like holding it, like checking the balance of it. Oh,
Yeah, I know. I made it. That's why it's good.
what do I owe you?
Nah, don't worry about it. But look at this. Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna hold up. So I hold up, and yeah, you would see like this wood cylinder that has this like monster face made out of metal on it. Like,
That's cool.
you want to see what it does?
Do I? It's not gonna like explode or anything, is it?
Nah.
Okay, do it.
And I activate it.
So you see, Temerity flips a sort of little switch on a metal band, and the tongue of this sort of monstrous creature sort of lights up with a little bead of light that then fills the whole mouth and shoots out this just cone of bright light. It goes right into your eyes, and you're like, ah!
Like, well, that's handy. As he like,
I'll turn it off. See, because here's the thing. Okay, so those goggles I made, I just want to start by saying that that's not normally like the level of craftsmanship that I personally like to create. I was kind of pressed for time. That's why they're made with like broken bottle pieces.
like I kind of like them. They're
But
stylish.
here's the thing. They're only gonna work for so long because, like, I mean, eventually, like, I have to work on them every day to maintain the enchantment. I wouldn't expect you to understand, but basically, if you don't have those and you're alone and it's dark, you can turn this on and have some light for an hour. I call it the creep torch. Because you creep around and it's like a little torch for you. And you
I
can
love
charge
that.
it in sunlight,
Perfect.
or you can like put some lightning magic into it and it'll charge it back up.
And it's for me?
Yeah.
Thanks, Temerity. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel bad because like I said, those goggles, shit tier quality work. I'm capable of producing something much better. So this is like a replacement. Just because I know if I'm not there with you, you're gonna get your ass kicked. So this is like having me there with you so that your ass doesn't get kicked.
Okay. I probably would get my ass kicked if I wasn't with you. That's a fair point.
Everyone would.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Bubbles, you're making your way back into the groggy bow.
Yeah.
Bubbles!
Felix! I got a cart!
Come here!
Okay!
Look what Temerity made!
Ooh! That's so cool!
He's got
Turn
the
it on.
dagger
Turn it
now.
on.
Oh, okay. So he went to grab the dagger and then put it down and picks up and he shines it at the ceiling and he turns it on.
Ooh! That's so cool! Temerity,
Some
you're
of the
so
other
smart!
some of the other people in the tavern are kind of like,
Can I make a shadow puppet into it of like a little like a little dog?
give me a performance check.
Oh shit. No, this is is not gonna be good. All right, I have a -1.
So like,
That's a 2, so that is a 1 total, but then dirty 1, not a natural 1.
Okay. So Temerity goes, hey, look at this. And it's like forget it. And the clapping kind of just goes.
And Felix goes, no, that was great. Do it again.
Do like a little like bird over it.
Give me another performance check.
Oh, it's a 17.
Okay, it's not hard to do this. So.
pretty good.
Little shadow puppet bird.
So
you
like,
said you got a cart?
yeah, Arden wanted 25 gold for it, but it's broken, so I just gave him all my money instead, because I only had 9 gold.
Oh, okay. And Felix was like, so, okay, that didn't compute. So he took 9 gold.
9 gold and 42 silver, and then he says I have to come back tomorrow morning at like before dawn to help him carry stuff into town, and then he'll give me the cart.
Okay. Would I know whether or not 25 gold is a reasonable price for a cart?
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, okay. It's like that, 25 gold. You could get a nice cart for like 10, maybe 15.
So
like 25 gold is closer to getting to a wagon.
That's a lot of money, Bubbles.
Really?
Yeah.
But
Do you want me to go back with you and talk to him?
I don't know. I'm supposed to. Well, I am supposed to go back tomorrow to
Let's
help
go.
him carry.
I mean-
Okay.
I'm gonna take one more shot for the road, and I'm gonna join.
Oh, wait.
Give me
Oh, can I just?
give me one last constitution check first for your shot.
Okay, regular or disadvantage? Oh, I got a nat.
Regular.
If I got a nat 20, then it's okay. That's a 3 plus 5 is 8.
That was the like one shot too many. You like
That's
took
the one
it.
where you feel it burn continuously.
Yeah, you took it. You took
"Ooh."
it. You're like. I'm not gonna ask for water. But yes, Oz is currently completely passed out at the table in the middle of the inn.
What is the... Hold on, let me look at my notes. Felix is gonna call out, hey Merla,
Oi!
is it alright if our friend takes a little nap here for a minute? We'll be back for him.
Can we buy? Can
sure.
I buy a room and put him in the room?
I like the sound of that even more. Sure. Honestly, they're all open. How many do you want?
Are we
How
planning
much
on
are the
staying the night?
rooms?
Well, I don't have any more money. Well, I have some
got
copper.
chocolate, it's okay.
They each
some
got 2
silver.
beds, but I've got one that's sort of a bigger bed, sort of like a master room, bigger bed, but just one.
He's blacked out. Okay, how about for now we're just gonna get one with the twin beds. Oh god, that. I don't need water. We're gonna one with the twin bed. I'll put him in that. We'll come back and decide if we're getting another.
I'll
Sure.
think about that. How much for the 2 beds?
Honestly, I never actually rent them out. I've been wanting to turn them into something else. Just give me a couple copper, 5 copper.
I'll throw 5 copper at her. Or like give her 5 copper. I won't actually throw 5 copper.
Oh, thank you. You're a good lad. All right, I'll
carry
babysit
him
him.
up.
Thank you. Let's go, Bubbles.
We
Okay.
close. The main bar closes in a few hours, so just be back before then. All right.
Oh, we just have to go talk
We
to
will be.
Arden.
Oh. Good luck.
Okay.
Okay.
Really quick, does anybody have any rope?
Oh, I don't think we do.
If they haven't replenished their like basic items yet.
Yeah, we never
Merla,
actually
do you
have
have
been
any
to a
rope laying
general
around?
store.
I think maybe in the back.
I just need to fashion like a makeshift belt so I can put my weapons in it.
Oh, honey, I probably got a belt. Do you just want an actual belt? Don't embarrass yourself. Just hold on.
That's adorable. Oh,
I'm
honey,
quite
no.
sure.
Oh, honey, no.
Just wait right there. She goes.
He's like,
She goes into the back. She goes into the back. She brings back. It's a long belt, but like a thin belt.
okay.
Wrap it around twice.
It was my husband's. He was sort of a portlier fellow. Should probably fit you. You're kind of thin as a rod, to be entirely honest. Do you want
sure
something
am.
to eat, by the way, instead of just drink?
I promise I am okay. But he's gonna take the belt, and I'm gonna. Is it long enough that I can try and like tie like loops in it?
Tie loops in the
Yeah, I
belt?
just want somewhere to put my swords and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah,
a little
you can.
knot.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
yeah.
I'm not. I now have a spear, 2 daggers, and a short sword, and I can't just.
So you have the spiky skirt just like coming out of you.
I mean, you do notice. Oh wait, did you carry Oz up yet?
No.
I was
will
going
now,
to say
though,
Oz
see
does.
what
I was
notice.
going to say Oz does have a very nice bandolier specifically for daggers.
Oh, he would kill me if I took it, though. I'm not gonna take it.
Okay.
I'm not that kind of guy.
Yes, you are actually.
Not for this particular individual.
That's fair. Okay. You fashion
we'll
some.
bring him up. and
I'll carry
make
Oz
this
up.
Okay.
I keep on forgetting that you're literally walking around this town with like 4 weapons strapped to you.
Yes, I sure am.
Bubbles is jealous.
Literally just stairs everywhere you go, but you literally are so used to it.
He just doesn't even. It doesn't even cross his mind that people are looking at him anymore.
Okay.
So we're gonna head to Arton.
Okay. So Bubbles, you lead the way back up in town. You pass the cart on the way, and it is a nice cart, but it is still a broken cart.
Mm-hmm.
Come up to the door.
Knock, knock, knock.
Who is it?
It's Bubbles again. I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Felix is standing.
Just kind of cracks it and just, hello, Bob. You brought a friend.
Yeah. This is
Arton,
Felix.
right?
Yes.
Mind
Can I
if we
help
have
you?
a little bit of a chat?
Well, it's actually kind of late, and I was just about getting ready for.
No, let's talk.
No, I actually just
He's
wanted
gonna
to
hold the door.
Oh, okay. Listen, we don't want any trouble here, all right? Listen, we love adventurers here. Don't. He opens the door. I don't really have anything. I don't know if you're that kind of adventurer. You know, what do you want to talk about?
Arton, listen. You seem like a nice guy. A charitable man.
I'm a simple farmer.
You and I both know that cart's not worth 25 gold.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
you
I
lied
was
to
also-
me.
I wasn't lying. I didn't say it was worth that much. That's just how much I wanted. Listen, it is a very, I am working on this plot of land all by myself, and no one wanted to offer to help me when my
I
cart broke
offered to
down.
help you.
No, besides you, Bubbles, and so I took a much needed reduction in price for your wonderful assistance. But everyone else in town didn't want to help me fix the cart, and they didn't want to help me carry my things into the town, and so I couldn't carry all of my things into the town, so I missed the first day of the harvest, so I missed out on all the sales that I was going to use to pay to repair the cart. It's just entirely unfair. So I was just hoping for a little bit of extra coin so that I could go in, I could either get the cart repaired or I could get a new cart, and then I wouldn't have to deal with it anymore, and I would be able to make up for missing the first day of harvest and selling all of my product.
It's up to
That's
you,
the
Bubbles.
honest truth. Are you saying that you don't want to help me?
I still want to help you.
Good, good. So what exactly is the problem?
Well, like, you lied to me.
Well, what exactly was the lie?
You said it was
Can
worth
I-
25 gold, and it's not. I didn't know.
I mean, it's a nice cart.
It's
I'm
a
sorry
broken
if I said-
cart.
I'm sorry if I said that it was worth 25 gold. All I meant was I would like 25 gold. Wouldn't we all, honestly? That's not a lie. I didn't lie. It was just a trick of the tongue.
That's still a lie.
It's a trick of the tongue.
I don't like liars.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
Can I pop around from like behind Felix?
I thought you meant
and-
like a bullet.
Can I pop a cap in this mofo? No! Jesus. No, I just want to like pop around and just like, oh man, now I forgot what I was gonna say because that was too funny.
So you pop around the corner and you go, that negative charisma.
That fireball whiskey. Yeah, I completely blanked on what I was gonna say, so never mind.
Are you happy with the apology, Bubbles?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
all I wanted was an
now I
apology.
remember.
And we give the girl what she wants.
Hey, Artan.
I?
Thanks for apologizing to my friend, but if she comes back in the morning or at any point tomorrow and this card is gone or it's more busted, I know your face.
Felix points at Temerity.
I'm really just a farmer. I'm not gonna try and do anything to upset a group of adventurers that has come into town. For whatever reason you're here, I just
Okay.
want to sell my corn.
Cause like,
Please.
Bubbles got her apology.
I just wanted my apology because like, you took all of my money basically, and I need money to find Tara, but I need the cart to find Tara. So if you're gonna lie to me, don't. I just want you to be honest. If you want 25 gold, you can just say I would like 25 gold because I missed out on the harvest. You don't
I
have to
honestly
like
thought you said
switch
that.
your words around and make me confused.
Well, how about this? I have some gold. I can run some errands. You're already going to help bring it into town.
Mhm.
If you want to stay and try and sell off some of the crop, I'll give you a percentage of whatever we make.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
That is a nice idea.
I'm gonna give him a hug.
you... Okay. And he's kind of like looking at you, Temerity. Don't hurt me.
Thank you for apologizing. Just don't do it to anyone else, okay? It's not very nice. Cause some people don't think like they do.
What percentage?
How about 5%?
I look to Bubbles.
I don't know what that means. Sure.
Your choice, Bubbles.
Okay.
Perfect. 5%
Okay.
of anything that we sell.
Actually, can we
And
make
I'll
it
run-
8%? Because I like that number.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I'll see you in the
Good
morning.
night, Arton.
Please leave my home now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I'm glad he apologized. I feel better now. I'm not so angry. Benjamin owes me an apology too, though he never did.
Do you want me to talk to Benjamin too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think he was still passed out in the inn.
Oh yeah.
And I think Char's gonna definitely give him a good talking to.
Okay, I'll get his apology tomorrow then.
Okay.
Okay.
We go
Okay,
back
so-
to the inn.
Yeah, let's go take care of Oz.
Can we walk slowly and just kind of look at everything and is it just really quiet and you can just see the sky? Is it
It's very peaceful. The sun has now set. And it's chilly, but most of the people have either gone inside or they've gone to the Groggy Bough to drink. You can see animals tethered to homes and things, because again, there are no stables. You see a couple other different businesses. So there is a general store. There is a leather worker's shop. There's a bakery. There's a why don't I actually just look at my notes?
I'm assuming they're all closed, other than the Groggy Bough.
Yeah, most seem to be closed. There's a tailor. You know, just sort of everything that a town needs to be nice and self-sufficient. There also seems to be, right at the edge of town, a really teeny tiny house, but it just says Chesterna Hills Courier. So there seems to be a very, very small courier business. Those are some of the things you see besides the homes. And there is also there's a little, there's a well where they fetch their water in sort of a little, not a square per se, but sort of, a little bit of an open area. It's quite peaceful walking around the town a little bit.
What do you guys think of this?
It's a nice change. I'm used to being in big cities, but this one's kind of
Me
my
too.
size.
I'm very used to being in big cities.
Same.
They have no defenses.
Yeah,
There's no walls. There's no turrets.
the way that they're talking though, it seems like they don't see too much trouble.
It's so quiet.
It's kind of too quiet, isn't it?
You don't like it?
It's not that I don't like it. It's just kind of one of those things where it's quiet, so everything else gets a little bit louder. And he's like,
It's honestly been really hard to sleep in the woods and places where it's so quiet. I don't like it.
I'm with you there, Temerity.
So you want noisy places to sleep?
Kind of like white noise in the background, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not like cannons going off, but
Right.
yeah.
I like it. It reminds me
I'm
of
glad.
the place I was born.
Where were you born?
I don't remember the name. I was too young.
Hmm.
But we moved to Jade from the New Lands, and it was way bigger. But it was a small little place like this, but maybe a little bit bigger. But there was lots of halflings. And it's kind of nice to see other halflings. I don't normally see them that often. Even in Jade, we're one of the only halfling families that are there.
Yeah, I get that. We were some of the only tieflings where I came from.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of elves and humans, and then there's a new influx of tritons from the ocean.
I've never met anybody that looks like I do.
I don't think I've met anyone like you either. And I've met a lot of
You're
people.
a little... I've seen some real weirdos, but
Well,
You're not as weird as them, but you're a different kind of weird.
you kind of remind me of Fiero, but he had like the fire thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like you, but fire.
Okay. Interesting.
And I guess Terra counts too, because Terra's got the earth.
So what would you say I am?
Space? You're kind of like Alana, but a little bit different.
Okay. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't actually know what I am.
What do you mean?
I don't know my parents. I've never been around anybody who looks like me. I've never met anybody that has any of the abilities that I do or looks like I do. I've always kind of thought I was maybe human but weird, but I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know
you're
what I
like
am.
a tiefling, but like a fucked up tiefling, and you don't have any horns or a tail.
Maybe that. I mean,
Like a special, horrible tiefling.
See,
do you breathe? Can you breathe?
Yeah.
Because I don't breathe.
What the fuck?
oh, so you're like Ventus.
Like
Because
who?
Ventus is an air genasi now, and he doesn't need to breathe.
It's not that I don't need to breathe.
You just can't?
I can't.
So it doesn't hurt though, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No, I mean I'm alive. I just don't breathe, I guess, which has caused me
Come here for a
a
second.
lot of.
Come here. Bend down.
Alright,
Bend down.
he-
I'm
he
gonna
bends
put
down.
my ear to his chest. Do I hear a heartbeat?
You do.
You seem normal to me.
All right.
I like that we're that group of friends that's drunkenly yelling outside of the bar.
You are all so Bubbles did not drink a bunch, but the rest of you are kind of just like having a kind of
I don't know how to
tipsy
breathe.
convo.
Can I like kind of go up to Felix and like kind of try to open his eyelids a little? I'm like, well, you have dark eyes. They're kind of like mine. Let me look. Maybe you're a tiefling.
Okay.
They're all black. The white
Yeah.
people, everything, they're totally black.
Have you ever heard of like limbo?
No.
Have I heard of limbo?
I mean, roll a. Technically, I guess this would be Arcana.
10.
No, not really.
I grew up in an orphanage and they spent a lot of time bringing me to healers and clerics and herbalists and witch doctors and anybody who knew anything about medicine or whatever to try to see what was wrong with me. And eventually they were like, well, he ain't dead, so...
I mean, but there's nothing wrong with you. You just look weird, but I mean, really, you don't look that weird. Were they like only human?
Yeah,
Oh, that explains.
mostly anyway.
I don't know. You kind of remind me of limbo. I don't
I'll
know.
have to look. I mean, it's something. I can look more into it, I guess.
Or it's Alana's castle, but I don't know where Alana's castle actually is called. But I guess Limbo's the next place that I would guess. But I don't know. I don't think you're from my world, so it might be from a different place entirely.
Where are you from?
Yulon? Let me double check how to pronounce that.
It is. Yeah, it's Yulon. I believe.
Yulon. Yeah, Yulon.
I'm from Faerun.
A lot of people keep saying Faerun.
It's a place.
You guys said Waterdeep?
I've kind of from all over. The last place that I was, though, was El Turil.
I don't know that place. I think Maverick said Waterdeep.
He did.
Yeah.
I've been to Waterdeep before.
I've never been, but I've heard of Waterdeep. There's a Waterdeep kinda in Yulon, but it's really far away.
It's massive. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people live there, and there are like these big statues, like tall, like taller than, like the feet are like 5 times bigger than just a normal person. They're huge that are just all
Whoa.
over the city. And there's a mountain there,
Whoa.
griffins flying around.
You know, the place that I just spent the last 10 years was only mountains. And there was a city there too with feet, but like the city walked up the mountains.
The
Interesting.
city walked?
Yeah, where do you don't just learn how to make weird, cool shit with friggin' humans. I shouldn't even be talking about this.
Why not?
You know, some things you just gotta leave in the past, and
Like a proper backstory should stay.
you know, you just don't talk about things, because then other people talk about things, and
Well, I talk about things all the time, but most of the time no one believes me.
I believe you.
I don't not believe you.
Well, I believe you.
You know what, Temerity? I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Sometimes some things should just stay in the past.
Yeah, until you figure out how to deal with them. And by deal with them, I mean kill everyone.
That's one way.
I don't agree, but okay. I mean, killing things are fun, but leaving things in the past. You
Do
gotta
you
keep
think
moving
that people
forward.
should talk about things?
Yeah. If it makes you upset, or if you're anxious, or if it makes you happy even, it's nice to talk about things that you did before. Even if it's sad, at
Something.
least if you share it with somebody, you're not doing it alone.
Yeah, but when you share it, then they know what makes you weak.
I don't have my necklace, do I?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I thought you.
no.
Damn, I need to get a new one. That'll be on my list. Sorry, that has nothing to kind of something to do with what we're talking about. but-
We have to keep from making a time distortion.
Yeah.
A continuity error.
Continuity problems.
So while we're talking about this, though, you see Felix kind of do this, and then stop.
So you think talking about the past makes you weak?
I don't think it makes you weak.
It can make people know what makes you weak, if that makes sense.
Well, what if it's your friends? Because friends make you stronger.
What if they're not here anymore?
Well, I'm here. I'm your friend.
I'm your friend too.
So I'm gonna give Felix a hug.
Oh, you hugged you back.
You give Felix a hug, and almost at the same time, you feel a vibration between both of you because your stomachs are rumbling because you have not eaten all day.
I think I'm hungry. Let's go get food.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You rewrite yourself with Bubbles' help as she is the designated sober friend. Escorts you back to the Groggy Bow where a woman where Charlotte is promptly kicking Benjamin's rear out the door, and she's like, "And you're not going to be drinking anymore until all of those dishes are clean, Benjamin. I'm going to check up on you in the morning." And he's
And-
like, "Oh,
Benjamin, you owe me an apology.
sorry,
Do you know why you're sorry?
because I sold you. I lied. It's not my shop."
And you gave me something that wasn't yours to give.
And I gave you something that wasn't mine to give.
And you're not gonna do it again.
I'm not gonna do it again.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. And he kind of just right on the ground, just kind of. And Charlotte's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And she pulls him to his feet, pushes him down the road.
Char. I have
Yes?
one last thing that I want to work on. Is that cool if I come back tonight or tomorrow to finish it?
Sure, come back in the day. I honestly really need to just drink and forget about my time on the road. It's been a while since I was home, so tomorrow, alright?
Tight.
Okay. Also, I think that there's someone that's been asking for you in there. Bouncing all off the walls.
Oh,
Calling for Mr. Felix.
okay.
Oh, Trick.
Yeah, that's what I was like, oh!
You you go inside, and you see Trick with sort of a big kind of tankard of milk.
Cute.
Oh, Mr. Felix, you are not telling me the truthful things. You told me to come here when sun go down, and you were not here, and I just find Oz, and I tried to go, hey, Mr. Oz, he did not wake up.
Yeah, we had to go and talk to somebody really quick. We were here. It was just a quick errand. I'm sorry, bud, but I'm here. Do you want me to get some food? Let's eat some dinner.
Oh, yes, I am. Well, no, yes, I am hungry.
Can I ask Merla if I can help in the kitchen and help cook? Because I'm proficient in brewers and cooks utensils.
You know, it's been a good couple forever since someone actually offered to help me in this place. If you want to help, I'll show you where you can help.
Great!
Come on in the back.
Yeah.
I also get to add a D4 to anything I make. It's a charisma check and a D4.
Alright. So she kind of points you to, she's like, alright, so today's menu we're doing a stew.
Okay.
So there's everything. If you could just start chopping those things up, that would be very helpful. I've already got the broth going. And she kind of pokes her head back out, and it's sort of like a saloon door to the back. So she kind of just leans her arms on the top, and she goes, I'm hoping that you're going to be having something to eat, right?
Yeah.
So what would you all like? Like I said,
Uh,
house special's the stew, but I can pretty much prepare anything that has been recently slaughtered. I got meat, I got vegetables.
do you
Harvest is in.
This is a weird question, but it's something I'm kind of homesick for. Do you have anything to make cookies? I'm really good at cookies.
Here, nothing. I don't necessarily make them here, but I do order some in from the bakery.
No,
So,
I wanted to make my special ones, but that's okay.
Well, you could always go over to the bakery in the morning, probably.
That's true.
You're such a helpful young lass.
Oh, thanks.
Where did you even come from?
It's a place called Jade.
A shining jewel just like you.
Oh.
Alright,
You're
Good
so, is it stew? Is anyone a vegetarian?
Nope.
I do vegan. That's a joke.
Fine.
Stew.
Yeah.
Stew for the Mr. Felix.
I can do stew.
I feel like Bitey has said that Trick is vegetarian.
I
Probably.
think, yeah, he said
Yeah.
that
He
would.
will ask for a vegetable stew. I can do that for you. And Miss Bubbles, stew for you as well.
Can I make, I want to make the stew, but I also want to make a steak. A special seasoning. And put
All
it
right.
on the side of the stew.
I think that we could do that. Okay, so all of the stews are going to be silver, vegetable soup. Okay, that's more like 8 copper. And then silver and then silver for the stew and steak.
Mm-hmm.
So, how much steak do you want?
Like, how many people do we have here? 2, 4, 6. So like 2 steaks, and then like I divide it like in small portions.
Like a New York strip, and you're just getting everyone a strip.
All right. So all the stew will be a silver, the vegetable stew will be 8 copper, and then the steaks for everyone will throw in another 2 silver.
Okay.
So
So-
3 silver, so 4 silver and 8 copper.
Yes.
I got it.
I
Felix will
rolled
buy dinner.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 on my cooking.
All right. So you prepare the meats and the vegetables. Basically, you help Merla at every single step of the way, except one moment where she tells you to look away while she adds her secret ingredients to her broth.
Okay, while she's doing that, I do like a special like cinnamon and like garlic rub on the steak while she's like look away, and I'm like, okay, you look away, and I do the same thing.
Okay. Eventually, the food gets prepared. There's various other people have seemed to have actually finished their meal, and they're more so heading home. But she's letting you guys, since you guys are probably going to be staying here, she's going to let you eat a little bit later. She brings out the stews, so she kind of just lines you all up at the bar as if you were at like a sushi bar sort of thing. Stew, vegetable stew. Steaks for everyone.
Steak.
While the food was cooking, I would have gone upstairs to see if I could get Oz up.
Okay.
No.
Up.
Yes.
How are you?
Get him up.
Get him
Yeah.
up. Get him up.
You just trying to tussle him a bit?
Yeah.
Roll a d20.
Okay. 17.
You get him awake a few times and he starts to drift off, so you actually force him to kind of sit up, and he's a giggly drunk.
Okay.
So he's
Good
like,
Good morning, sunshine.
Mr. Felix. Is it morning already?
No, it is not. But I thought you might be hungry.
Oh yes, I am. I'm always hungry.
He's gonna stand him up.
So what's on the menu?
Ass.
It's like, if you can get some food in your stomach, maybe later I am.
Sounds like a night.
I'm
Lead the
gonna
way.
guide him downstairs.
Okay. Oh, Victoria! You're gonna die! Okay, you come downstairs, the others are already eating. Would anyone like drinks with their stew?
Water.
Sure.
And he looks at Oz and says, should stay hydrated.
I already have my milk. This is very good. I don't know if Bitey... I feel like Bitey hates milk, but you know what? I'm in control of your cat person, so he's drinking milk.
Get wrecked.
That's what you get for going to New York. Anyway, so you're all eating. She gives water.
Whiskey.
More whiskey. Listen,
More whiskey.
it's past closing time now, and that's some top shelf whiskey. I'm gonna start having to open a tab for you if you keep drinking more of it. Is that alright?
Just one more shot. How much?
It's a whole silver.
I got it. I put it on the bar.
Alright. She uncorks the little dragon head.
Wait. Make it a double. How many? Is that 2 silver?
Yes.
Yeah.
Twice as much whiskey, twice as much coin, please. She cracks the little like dragon. It pours like out of its open mouth, very similar to your flashlight. Pours the 2 shots. So, do you know the last time adventurers came through Chesterna Hills?
No.
No.
It was about 5 years ago.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Why do you
There
think that is?
was... Well, I believe it's just because Chesterna Hills has a very good reputation of not ever needing any outside help.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
What did
peaceful.
they do here?
While they were here, what was it? There was something attacking the livestock. It was either like a griffin or Manticore. One of those things had
Was
kind
it-
of moved in.
Was it spiky, or was it like a bird?
I actually wasn't here yet.
Oh, okay.
From what I heard, it was probably spiky.
Manicore.
Manticore. Well, it's been peaceful ever since I got here, which is both a blessing and a curse. I always actually liked the company of adventurers. They pay well. She kind of gestures to you all.
Do you know what their names were or what they look like?
I mean, from what the people say, there was maybe like 4 of them. There was sort of a big, strong fellow. Sort of like a bulky lad. Pretty tall. They said he was probably twice as tall as any good Chester Hills local. And there was one of you folk with the horns. Sort of had a
What was their name? Do you know?
I don't know.
Who saw them? Who was living here when they were here?
Probably mostly everyone besides me. Why all the questions?
Did the big guy look gray? Like stone?
We're all
Aye.
looking for people.
He did. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, who? Wait. Wait,
One of those sort of mountainous types.
wait.
Tattoos all over.
Oh.
Not who you're looking for?
No.
Is it possible
I'm
he's
sorry,
gotten
lass.
tattoos?
Hmm?
Is it possible he's gotten tattoos?
Maybe.
You said that most people were living here when it happened?
I mean, not many people leave Chester in the Hills.
Maybe we can ask Char.
Okay.
Charlotte? Oh yeah, she at least gets a little bit of travel to the different towns to sell her wares. I would say that she's probably the only person that's gone farther than most people, and the only person that's gone farther than her is me.
Where did you come from if you're not from here?
I came all the way over from the East Coast in Scalegia.
What brought you here?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Most people don't believe me.
Try us.
Yeah, try me, because everyone doesn't believe anything I say.
Alright. Well, I was working as a sailor at the time. I had my own ship called the Groggy Bow. And I went out one day. I was doing a shipment, and the fog rolled in. And normally it's not too much of a problem, but I was going through the fog. Suddenly I felt like we had been run aground. And what would you know? The fog clears, and my ship is right in the middle of the grassy hills of Chesterna.
Oddly enough, that kind of sounds like how, I mean, there was an extra step, but like that's kind of how we got here. How I got here, anyway.
Yeah, I came on an airship.
How did
Airship.
Felix get here? Did we ever decide?
You traveled here by boat and actually just arrived in a port quite normally.
Okay.
Yeah, I stole my
You
friend's
probably
airship.
left from Waterdeep or
Okay.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, okay.
I kind of borrowed / stole my friend's airship for a few minutes, and then I went to here because I was told by Bahamut to come check out Euranea, and then I got into fog, and then I woke up in a strange room with all these people. Well, not Felix, but the other ones.
Sounds like a very interesting story. I'd love to hear more of it. Honestly, I haven't gotten to talk to someone interesting in so long.
Bubbles will rattle off everything from point A to point Z at that point. She's like, finally someone's gonna listen to me and believe me.
So, Bahamut told you to come all the way out here?
Yep.
That's quite strange. Not a lot of people talk about Bahamut out here.
You've heard of Bahamut?
Aye.
Where are you from?
Well, I'm from here. Just Scalagia, but
Oh yeah, you said
I
that.
mean,
Sorry.
they talk about Bahamut a lot in Airn, which I did a lot of shipments to, you know, before I decided to have my whole ship just sort of run aground into the middle of a field.
Yeah, Bahamut said there was something strange going on beyond his sight here, so he asked me to come here to check it out. And now I can't contact them anymore. The only thing I got is this little egg. I think it's a sign, but I don't know.
Little bird's egg is a sign.
Maybe. When I was praying to him, this thing fell out of a tree.
Unfortunately, sailors don't have much use for gods, except to tell them to leave us alone.
Well,
I don't know.
He's a different kind of god. He's more of a friend than, like, I guess a deity to me. I also met Saloon or whatever. Saloon, yeah. Saloon. I'm not sure what you call her here.
You what?
I met Saloon.
He likes it.
I think she's the only other god that I actually met.
You met her.
Yeah, at one of her temples.
What's she like?
Really pretty and really nice. She's really patient and told me to be patient, but I'm not very good at that.
I think you're mighty patient.
Sometimes. She told me to leave Alana alone because Alana needed some quiet and space, and she wanted me to leave Alana and Yuko, so I let them have their moment. When she wouldn't let me into the temple, she kind of just stood there and said, "Give them time, it's okay." She's really sweet, though.
Felix has gone very quiet. He's listening.
She
but
gave
he's
me a
eating
hug
now.
afterwards because I came back like 2 days later. Gave me a hug goodbye when I left.
So an adventurer that's friends to not one, but two gods, just decides to roll into Chesterna Hills for whatever reason.
I don't know yet. I'm mostly just looking for my friend Tara.
Fentera.
Felix is gonna stand up. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And
Are
he's
you
gonna
okay?
step outside. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Washrooms down that way.
Thank you. He's gonna step outside.
Did I say something
kind-
wrong?
Kind of go over to the side of the building and lean against the wall and slide down. Is the moon out?
Both are out.
Okay. He's just gonna sit for a minute. You can keep talking.
Alright, well. I mean, you sound like one of the most interesting people I've ever met, and it just seems so strange for you to come all the way out here and talking about Bahamut. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm more friends with Bahamut than Saloon. I've only met Saloon like once or twice.
and you said that he told you to come to Euranea.
Yeah, after we were done with like a big fight with the collector, he told me that once I was ready and got things all sorted out and we had a huge party at the inn, he said that when you have time, sooner rather than later, to go check out Euranea beyond to the east? Yeah. So I took Arathorn's airship. I really just meant to borrow it. I wanted to, like, give it back to him, but I don't even know where the airship is now, so Arathorn might be mad at me when I go home.
You could go looking in the hills, maybe it's there.
Maybe.
They seem to have a tendency to attract ships.
Hopefully I can find it.
All the time that you're talking, she's just sort of like sitting, like, chin-handsing, listening to you. And she goes, I've got to be entirely honest, they don't talk about Bahamut much in Euranea, which is strange. They talk about him a lot in Erin, though, but even then, if I remember correctly, they've sort of been phasing out his worship.
Why?
He's not as popular.
Why? But why?
I mean, listen, I didn't really talk a lot to the religious types over in there, and I was just there to sell things. But I feel like I remember someone calling him a lost god. Something like that.
He's missing?
They were repurposing. I don't think they necessarily mean missing. They were repurposing one of his temples.
To what?
Probably they were just going to turn it into another storehouse. Or something of that matter.
That's not very nice.
I don't know.
Where's Erin from here?
So if you make your way all the way to the eastern coast, in Scalegia, Skellig, the capital, controls various port cities which run ships past the Iranian Isles to the northeast. You can find Erin. They call it, some call it Draconia.
Ooh!
They have a whole sort of thing with dragons, or at least they did a long time ago.
That's where I should probably go then.
It's a little ways away. Didn't he tell you to come to Euranea?
Yeah? But, like, if he's missing or hurt, I gotta make sure he's okay.
That's fair. Well, honestly, if you go to Skellig, there's plenty of sailors there, some people that I know, that like to run transport to Erin and back to Scalegia. They might be able to tell you a little bit more about it before you hop on a ship and go all the way over there. It takes at least a few weeks, if not a month and a half, to get all the way out there, depending on the winds.
Well, hopefully
Which
I find
around
Kara
this
before
time of year, they're not going to be in your favor. You'd want to wait until summer.
Oh, it's so much time!
It takes a while to get there.
I really need my airship.
Don't we all? She kind of turns to you, Tamarin, and she's like, you've been quite quiet. Do you have any fanciful adventures like this one?
Fanciful? Nah. I'm gonna awkwardly try to take back that last double. And
Constitution check.
Well, okay. With disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay, 16 and 2 plus 5 is 7.
So you swallow it, and you go, I got it. And then you feel that bubbling in your stomach, and it's coming back up.
I'm running outside.
Okay.
Tamara, you okay?
So then you might actually hear what Felix is doing if you go outside.
I'm chasing Temerity to make sure Temerity's okay.
So while they were inside talking, Felix has slid down the wall, and he's got his head back and his eyes closed, and he kind of starts talking out loud. And he's just talking. He's drunk. He has no concept of... Actually, can I roll a Constitution saving or check just to see how he's doing? Is that okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should be saying saving throws instead of checks. That's my bad. They are saving.
So it's just, okay. Okay, so it's
I thought we were rolling saving throws. That's what I was...
No, yeah, you are.
Okay, cool.
You're supposed to be. It's an 8. He's still very drunk.
Oh yeah.
But he kind of looks up at the sky, So I lost him, and I came here, and then I lost my friend, and then I was kidnapped, and then I lost all of my things. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing here. I know what I want to do, and I have no idea how to get there. Why don't you talk to me? Am I doing something wrong? Do I need to be more like Bubbles?
Oh.
I know I can be a bit of a bastard sometimes, but I promise I'm trying. And Gallic got a hold of me, I guess. Maybe that was you kind of guiding him towards me. I don't know. I need help. I need something. Please. And then he just kind of quiets down. But you
Okay.
guys might have heard some of that.
Yeah, Temerity, give me a perception check.
Can I as
While
well?
you're coming out to vomit. Yes, that's right. Yes, you ran out.
Is
Perception
that
check
at
at disadvantage
disadvantage?
for Temerity. It's fine for Bubbles.
Okay.
Oh, a 15 and a 16. Yeah, so 15.
15, 16, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, you both came out and you don't really did you just slump down right by the door, or did you turn around a
He
corner?
kind of went to the side and turned around the corner and slipped
Okay.
down.
So you come out the front, Temerity, you start you don't really get around the corner. You have to vomit just right out front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bubbles is patting back, and as you're both kind of there in that moment, you do hear Felix talking to himself, and you hear that kind of conversation.
I guess I did say something wrong.
Felix, you're looking up at the two moons, the two crescent moons, and you're staring at them like wanting some sort of answer. And you feel for a moment like you see them blink like a pair of eyes, and then you go, wait, no, I'm just blinking.
No, wait, I'm blinking. Oh no!
He is a dumbass. He would do that.
Wow.
Wally.
He sits there for another minute, and then he kind of gets up and moves around. He sees you guys, and he just kind of waves, and he goes
Yeah, I'm just like
inside.
leaning on the.
Wait, Felix,
Yeah, hey.
I'm sorry, and I'm gonna just hug him around the waist.
For what?
Well, I talked to the saloon, and you want to talk to her too?
Oh. So, okay. Yeah, I guess I do. You
Don't-
shouldn't feel bad for it, though.
Don't give up, okay?
Okay.
She won't give up on you either. She's not that type of person.
I don't think she is either.
Okay.
He ruffles her hair.
Extra squeeze.
Okay.
Okay.
He heads back inside, goes over to the table, squeezes Oz's arm, does this, and goes upstairs.
I'm still helping Temerity out. Like, it's okay.
Can I roll a con check for Oz to see if Oz is sobering up a little?
Yeah.
He did eat.
He did
Ooh,
eat.
okay, I rolled an 18. I don't know what his modifier is,
That's
though.
enough.
Yeah.
Oz puts the rest of
He's
his
rallying.
soup. He pushes his bowl forward to Merla, and he goes, "The food was wonderful, darling, but I do need to go get my dessert, so." And he stands and follows you upstairs.
Alright.
As the rest of you two come in as you see them heading upstairs.
I think it's their bedtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
I'm
your
guessing-
bedtime too.
I'm guessing that you're all going to need rooms.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think we need a different room from them.
Actually,
I swallowed it. In
Oh,
bed.
whoa! Don't do that. That's not healthy.
Well, I
Burns.
gave you the key to one of the rooms with the 2 beds. Do you want another one of those? Do you want the master? Do you each want to have your own room? I
We
don't
can just
judge.
get another. We can just get another twin bedroom with the 2. Sorry, no offense, Bubbles, but I'm not really a cuddler.
Oh, okay.
Felix would cuddle you, Bubbles.
I know. I really wanted to
Not
cock block and
tonight,
get
though.
them to cuddle
Felix
me.
is busy getting something else cuddled right now.
Alright. So,
I think Bubbles wants to get the master room. Depending how much it is.
it's 5 copper for a normal room, it's a silver for the master room.
I'll get the master room for myself. I
I'm
want
gonna
a big
write
bed.
one.
Alright. So that'll be silver from you, 5 copper from you. I love adventurers. But, Bubbles, I was actually hoping that you could stay just for a little bit to help clean up a bit.
Oh yeah,
since you
sure.
wanted to help
I'm not
cook.
drunk at all. I'm good. I can stay up a while longer anyway. I wanted to try and talk to Bahamut too. Now that I was reminded.
Alright, I'll give you your key in just a minute.
Okay.
In temerity, she tosses you a key. Dexterity save.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it probably bounces off of my head.
Like,
I mean, yeah, if you want to just swat it onto the ground, you can do that.
Well, this is with disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a natural 1.
There it is.
It hits
Plus
you right.
2.
It hits you right in the face. It hits you in the face, and then you go. Oh, sorry, love. Sorry. I thought you could hold your whiskey.
Shade.
Burn.
I'm gonna pick it up and go up to the room, and I'm gonna do some stuff.
Okay, so she starts to gather the bowls, kind of put them together, and she brings them into the back.
I help.
She goes, no. Bubbles, I didn't actually want any help with the cleaning.
What?
I really just wanted to hear more about Jade.
Oh, really?
Aye.
Well, not everything cool happened in Jade. There was a couple cool things that happened in Jade, but like we went all over the place.
She comes around to the front of the bar where the customers sit. And then walks over to one of the tables, pulls one chair over, spins it around, sits in it backwards. She goes, I want to hear as much as you want to tell me.
Okay,
Aw.
well, the first person you need to hear about is Jeeves.
And she just goes off.
And you spend a very long night. You're the last to get to bed. I don't know which one of you caves in first. It's probably Merla, even though she's very interested.
Well, I actually
And-
do
Go to bed. I probably cave first because I do have to get up and help Arton.
Oh, did he rope you into something?
Yeah, he said he wanted me to help him carry his crops into town, and he said if I help him sell stuff, he'll give me 8%.
Honestly, that's actually quite kind of him. I don't know what you could have done to get a deal out of Arton like that.
Well-
Normally he likes to upprice all of his
Yeah,
food, and so
he
we
lied
just
to
sort of...
me. He lied to me, and I made him apologize, and as part of the apology, he said he'll give me 8%.
Oh, it looks like you're already doing a lot of good for the town, even though they didn't even know they needed it. I'm really happy that you came on through.
I'm happy I'm here, too. It's a nice place.
And if you end up having any other questions about Euranea, been here my whole life, you can come and ask me, and I'll tell you some of my own stories. All right?
Okay, can you do me a favor while I'm helping Arton? Can you ask the locals if they've heard of a guy named Tara?
Sure.
Okay.
I will ask around.
And I will tell her all about Terra as well. And he used to be a sword. He's not a sword anymore. He actually used to be a god titan from the times of old. Like, she just goes all off.
You can't really tell how much she believes, but she's listening so intently to you like you're her favorite TV show.
Yay! Someone believes me!
Okay.
Okay.
So, Temerity, you go to one of the rooms by yourself.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be like, with like some of the papers that I have, like my plans on like the other side, I'm gonna be trying like really drunkenly to write out different like formula or like arcane formulas and stuff for things that like my master was working on, but they're like, I'm wasted, so they're not very good. And then I eventually like get frustrated and give up, and then I just do a little shitty doodle of them in the corner of like what the master looked like.
Okay.
And then I pass out, probably like partially on the floor.
Okay.
With my boots on still.
Bubbles, you go to the master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
It is a large bed, even for halflings. There's plenty of room to roll around or completely spread out. There's also some extra furnishings. There's like a nice armoire. There's a full body mirror.
Ooh.
And there's actually a little attached washroom with a small basin for bathing.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna put the little egg on the armoire on a pillow, like a little cozy little nest for it.
Okay.
And then I will take a bath, because I probably need one. And while I'm in the bath, I'm gonna take the necklace and try and contact Bahamut again, but I don't expect anything to happen. But she's still gonna try, because she listened to Felix do something similar today, so she's like, maybe today's the day.
Kind of hold the necklace and you kind of wait, and you just have that really unfortunate silence that has been plaguing you the last few times you tried this, and you're slumping into the water, and you're like crocodiling in the water, and you wait a little bit more, and there's nothing. And you just kind of like hold your breath, and you go under the tub water, and you're just sitting down in there, and you're holding the necklace, and you feel that feeling from your dream, that pulse, like a heartbeat, the breathing, the heartbeat and the breathing, the heartbeat and the breathing. Calm, sleeping. But soft, quiet, like it's far away, or small, or weak. It's so hard to tell what exactly it is.
Does it feel any louder or quieter from where we started?
It feels mostly the same.
Okay.
You don't know if you're missing something or if you're on the right track. It's so strange to you, and the only possible thought that could probably give you a bit of comfort is that this is honestly what talking to gods is like for most people.
I hate it! This sucks!
You finish your bath. You dry off.
I just kind of like whisper to the necklace, like, wait for me, I'm gonna come get you. And then I get ready for bed, and I put the egg nest like on the pillow side of the bed, and then I curl up in a little ball in the center of the bed.
I always wanted to know, does Bubbles undo the pom-poms for like taking a bath and going to bed?
Oh yeah.
How long is her hair with that when the pom-poms are down?
Probably mid-back, like down to here, because she puts them up high, so they come down to her like her shoulders. So when she lets it down, it's probably near her butt.
but not quite.
That's a lot of hair.
It is. She's got thick hair. It's very deceiving.
Okay. Oz and Felix.
Are having a pillow fight and jumping up and down on the beds.
Pillow fight.
Spend a passionate night. Do you push 2 beds together, or do you share one?
Probably push both the beds together.
You all hear the...
Oh no.
But that's all you hear for the night.
Oh no.
Felix,
Yes.
give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Uh, 15.
Okay. While your night is filled with passion, and for the first time in a long time, you fall asleep in someone else's arms. You awake with that feeling, arms wrapped around you from behind, but you're in a different room. A familiar room.
Oh no.
You hear gentle breaths hitting the back of your neck as Darrow sleeps behind you. And then you hear the front door to your home smash open. And you hear the marching of feet. And you hear them come up the stairs and the banging on the door. What do you do?
I turn. Am I aware of what this is, or am I back? Like, is my mind basically back before it happened, and I don't?
Your mind is before it happened.
Okay, so
this is like a normal night, and
okay.
It sounds like people are breaking into your home.
Okay, so I sit bolt upright in bed, and I'll shake him really hard to wake him up.
He doesn't.
I keep shaking him.
He's sleeping soundly, and you're shaking him, and he does not seem to be waking up at all. And you can hear the pounding on the door getting louder and louder and louder.
Is there like a desk or a chair in the room at all, or is it just my bed?
It's just the bed.
Okay.
And a window.
Okay.
And the moonlight shining through it.
Okay, so he's kind of panicked, like looking around, trying to find something.
Slam. Wood is starting to splinter.
And
the doorknob is shaking.
Lune, please help me! And he's like, he's begging for help, and he's trying to find something to block the door. But
you say, Selune, please help me, and the door crashes open as guards pour in to the room, and then everything freezes. The moonlight from the window, the only light in the room, becomes a blood red. And you can see, like time frozen, them running towards the bed, Darrow asleep, and the window is open. And time is just kind of frozen in that snapshot.
if I go to him, does he move? Can I move him? I like slowly, I'm like trying to make sure that
when you move, the scene starts to move. You know, the scene moves as you move. So as you go closer to him, the guards get closer to him. And then when you stop, time stops.
So he stops then. And he's taking a few deep breaths, and tears are starting to well up. I just want to test it. If I go a little closer, does it still happen? Like, he's gonna test it for a minute.
Do they still move?
Yeah.
They move, and you start to hear the metal of a sword being pulled out of its scabbard, and then it stops.
And if I back up?
If you back up, you're still moving. Now they've moved forward a little bit more.
So he's gonna just take a minute and break the fuck down. Because he knows what's going to happen. So just a minute of just ugly, shaking sobs. And then he's gonna go towards the window.
And the window is closer than the bed.
Yeah.
And as you run and climb out of the window, you can hear behind you the marching of metal boots come in, and you hear as you fall out towards the street below in slow motion, you hear the bed sheets ripping, and you hear the covered screams of blades piercing and ripping, and you hit the ground, and it's black, and you wake up. Oz holding you asleep. You're sweating.
He was honestly probably crying in his sleep too. I'm gonna try and pull away from Oz as quietly as I can.
Make a stealth check.
Uh, 21. 13 plus 8.
You slide out of his arms. That what was a comforting embrace now just feels gross and wrong. And you slide over to the other bed that's been pushed there. He doesn't wake up.
He's gonna pull his pants on and get up and go outside. And just mouth covered, he's just gonna scream, trying to muffle it.
Okay. Yeah, Merla's not downstairs when you go. It's still night. You just scream muffled into a night sky that just responds to you with cold winds. And everything is bathed in blue moonlight. And a town that seemed so peaceful and serene feels so agonizingly quiet and empty. And you can't help but think of all of the people in their homes. You can't, everywhere you look down the street, homes of families and people who are just living their happy, peaceful lives. Unlike
He's gonna finish screaming and then just look up. His deep breath and to someone else he's been speaking to. Please just let me forget for this one fucking night. And he's gonna go back upstairs and he's gonna pull the bed away. Go ahead.
you turn to go back in, you turn back towards the door, and behind you, you hear the dinging of what sounds like a coin being dropped on the cobblestone.
Can I see it? Follow the noise?
You look over your shoulder. Give me a perception check.
21 again.
You see the reflection of the moonlight on the metal
I'll go pick it
in
up.
the... Okay. You go to pick it up, and you very pointedly are at sort of... It stops. It's in the moonlight right at the edge of an alleyway that just seems to go off into complete darkness. And you look down, and it's not a coin. It's your necklace.
Which-
Selene symbol
Okay.
facing up, reflecting the light.
So I'll pick it up. I picked it up. His hand's like shaking. And I'm gonna hold it. And I'm gonna put it on. Thank you. And I'm gonna go inside and go upstairs. And go back to bed.
Okay. Sleep takes the rest of you with no issue. Especially temerity. The whiskey just completely obliterated you. You awaken half out of your bed, your face on the floor, kind of in a pile of your blankets. Bubbles, you awaken to the sounds of birds singing. Bird singing. Very close. Bird in your bed.
Oh my god!
Your little bird's egg has hatched.
Oh my god!
And there's just a little...
I pick it up.
It's actually like still sort of in the shell.
Oh, I gotta like give it a little bit of help.
It kind of it wiggles its way out. You know, it's a little... It's so ugly cute. You know, eyes aren't open, no plumage, just a little wriggly little pink thing about maybe, you know, this big. Just going.
I take it. I'm gonna go running downstairs with it, like kind of like holding it to my like heartbeat and keeping it warm, and I'm gonna go find the bakery to find some grains and milk so I can like make a little mixture to give it.
Okay, so you and you see Merlin being, oh, good morning, Bob.
Morning! I have a baby!
Oz,
Give me the baby!
Oz wakes up. Felix, you wake up. He kind of gives you a look because you know you've kind of moved over to the other bed, but he doesn't say anything. Just kind of smiles, stands up, undressed.
He'll smile back.
Without saying a word, throws a shirt on, rubs the back of his neck, goes, so, breakfast?
I'm starving.
I'll meet you there.
I'll get up, get dressed,
Gather
and go
his
downstairs.
clothes.
Yeah.
Temerity, you've kind of drooled a little bit on your notes, but you were trying to figure out one last little thing, and like in your weird drunken fireball whiskey haze, you look at your notes and you're like,
Oh no, wait, my
I
video
got it.
feed of you froze. Wait, hold on, give me 2 seconds. Okay, I see you now. So I'm
you
like,
look at your notes and you're kind of like, basically what happened is, so you had two papers like this, overlapping each other, and your drool caused it to kind of be a little bit see-through, and so when you look at like two bits of your notes put together, you're like, that's it! And you know how to make your little boy.
Oh god. I'm just like, ugh. Nice. Nice. Just gather them up and try to make the bed and painfully go downstairs.
Merla is already making food. It seems like she is pretty groggy too. Not used to having people actually stay at the inn, and so therefore having to make breakfast. But there is a bowl of bowl of bread. She is making eggs, and sausage. She greets you all as you come downstairs. Morning, all.
Morning.
Breakfast? That's something that tavern owners do when people stay, right?
That's very kind of you.
Bubbles all sort of just immediately ran out. Does anyone know what that was about?
No. Did she seem okay?
She said she had a baby?
Yeah, I don't know what that would mean.
What the fuck?
Alright. She didn't say where she was going, so...
Felix is gonna ruffle Oz's hair and then sit down next to him.
He kind of like, you know, like, fixes a little bit there and there, kind of touches himself up, and she's Merle's like, oh, you know, we've got baths, if you have to go out and around, but there's sort of a little fenced-in area you could clean off. Food first. She kind of puts out plates for all of you, and she goes, "How was everyone's night's sleep? Bed's comfortable?"
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Oz just sort of is like, "I had a very good night. You have very, very comfortable beds."
Felix is grinning.
She goes, "Aye, well, if you need any of them laundered, you can just leave them in the basket upstairs. Last door on the right." So, how long are you all planning on staying in Chisterna?
Hopefully not long.
I would agree with you, but when you're the only tavern owner in town, the coin is good enough to stay, I suppose, but it's definitely not the place for adventuring types, I admit.
Yeah, you really need some, like, fences. Like, get some sturdy pieces of wood and sharpen the end of them at the very least, and kind of make, like, a barricade around this. This is completely not defensible in the slightest. It honestly makes me a little anxious to look around and it's just everything is out there.
I understand, and you know what? Now that the loggers are getting back to work, maybe I'll let them know, but believe it or not, the hills have actually been what kept us mostly safe all this time. You wander too far out into the hills, and you're not going to wind up in Chisterna. But that's enough talk. Eat. I got coffee brewing, and I've got a plate for Bubbles if she ever decides to come back.
Yeah, I'm a little curious about the baby thing, but sometimes she I don't know, I think she just needs to do her thing.
I was just kind of is like, well, hopefully she hasn't been with child this whole time. I'm sure it's just some sort of jade say, you know, like, oh my gosh, that breakfast was so good. I am having a baby.
Well, when she gets back, I'll tell her everybody again too. I'm probably gonna be parting ways with everybody soon, at least.
Yeah. I don't know where the fuck we're gonna go.
A friend of mine was able to contact me and wants me to meet him somewhere, and I have to meet him. So
Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, fuck. Oh, my neck is really shit.
Listen, there will be time for talk of where you're going to go after you get food in your belly. And she pushes the plate closer to you.
And he laughs and he starts eating. Oh.
So, Bubbles.
Yep.
You are sprinting to the bakery.
Yep. I'm looking
Okay.
for. I'm gonna ask for cornmeal, some grains or like seeds, and I'm also gonna look for apple juice or some sort of like juice.
Okay. Well, you get to the bakery. Someone is out front unlocking the door. So do you just walk up to them and say,
I
"Hey,
give them.
this is-"
I listen to yes. Please, I have a baby, and I showed the baby bird.
Oh,
Oh, isn't it cute?
it's very cute. Just give me a second to open up, okay?
Okay.
Okay, what was that? Cornmeal.
Yeah. Some
Apple.
apple juice and like seeds or grain.
Juice. Okay. How much do you need? They're like, come on in, and they're like opening the blinds, and they're like putting on the apron. They're like, how much of everything did you want?
Maybe a sack of like a sack that I could give them over the next few days.
You want a whole sack of all of those?
Well, like in one sack.
The juice separate.
Yeah.
Okay. And they kind of
How much is it?
they look at they like open their ledger and they flip and they're like, most people don't normally buy a sack. They normally buy, a muffin.
Yeah.
So give me a second here.
Sorry, I need the raw ingredients. I can't give them the muffin yet.
Could probably do you want just all the dry ingredients, like 1/3 of each? Do you want more of one or the other?
Yeah. More cornmeal than the grains and seed.
Okay. Could you just 7 copper pieces?
Can you give me a little extra if I gave you a silver?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, I'll give him a silver.
Yeah, I'll give you here. So this is. So the sack is normally I've got 1 pound sacks, 5 pound sacks, 10 pound sacks. I could give you. I'll give you a 5 pound sack and 2 1 pound sacks.
Sounds good, thank you.
All right. Do you want some bread or a muffin or?
Yeah, I'll take a donut or something or a muffin. Do you have cookies?
Okay. Yes, we have cookies.
Do you have chocolate chip
What kind
cookies?
Chocolate's a little hard to come by.
Oh.
Got oatmeal.
Oatmeal works.
All right. We mix honey in,
It's good.
so it's still sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, can I get some honey too? That's actually a good idea.
And honey.
Yeah.
Okay, so silver.
I can
Silver and 3 copper.
Okay.
Okay. Here's a couple cookies.
Thank you.
Share it with your
Nom,
friends.
nom, nom,
Or don't. Okay.
nom. I saved a
Here's
couple.
some honey. Here's some honey. Here's 5-pound sack. Here's 2-pound sacks. Will that be all?
Do you have a bowl?
Have a bowl.
Can I have a bowl, please?
To keep?
Yeah, I'll buy it.
Sure. They reach like just underneath.
It's like, I sell pastries and you want all these raw ingredients?
And it's got like eggs in it, and they like look at you, and then like they just empty the eggs, like they just carefully pour the eggs into a basket and give you the bowl.
Okay. I take all the stuff, I give them the money, and I will go back to the inn.
Bye.
Thank you!
My name is... I forget.
I'm Bubbles! Nice to meet you!
Okay, bye!
Bye!
And you make your way back to the inn with all of this stuff. So, you've got, like, I'm guessing you're carrying all 3 of those sacks in one hand.
And then I have the little baby bird, like, in my chest, like, wrapped up in a blanket kind of thing, like a little nest in my cleavage.
Okay. You come back to the inn. Everyone is eating breakfast. And Merla's just like, alright, what's the baby?
Look!
Oh!
The baby.
Baby!
Baby
Where
bird.
did you get that?
It's from Bahamut, I think. Remember when we got jumped by those goblins because I was not paying attention? It's because I found this egg.
I remember when you were gonna go into the mine, you were telling me.
Yeah!
I remember.
Felix is like, to the bird.
It bites your finger. It wants...
Damn it! Ow!
Yeah, I'm gonna like get a mixture of all of them and use my like the blunt end of like my axe to like smash it all together. Like the hilt.
Bubbles, not on the counter. Do it here. Hold
It's in
on.
a bowl!
I know, but just pick the bowl up.
Okay,
Pick it up.
okay.
And she puts down like a towel
Oh.
or like a cloth, and she's like, "There,
Thank you!
okay."
I grind
okay.
it all up, give a mixture, and start feeding the baby.
Okay. Give me an animal handling check.
Oh, gladly. 14.
Yeah, you get it in its mouth.
Nom 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 nom.
It's not
It's
expecting
messy.
just like it's just kind of like, and you're just kind of, you've got like a little
little spoon.
Merla gives you a little spoon. You're like trying to shake it, and she's like, and that's why I put on the cloth.
Smart.
So
Is anyone done with their? Oh,
I have a
yes?
favor to ask. Can Temerity or one of you guys take care of the baby for a few hours while I go help Arton?
I mean,
I got it.
Okay, here you go.
yeah, I don't think it would be. I'm about to go to like the forge soon, and like, what if it fell in like, the fire?
No. It's not funny. Don't laugh at that.
I
Oz
got
says, Bubbles, darling, do you know when you're going to be done selling, whatever it is you're going to be selling?
I have no idea. I haven't asked him yet what he wants me to do. I know I have to carry stuff into town.
When did you want you to meet?
In the morning?
Okay, well, it's still morning. Well, I believe we were all going to be talking about what we are going to be doing after this. Mr. Felix says that he might have to go on his own way, so I figured that perhaps we could all meet back here at around lunchtime and just discuss it.
Okay.
Thank you, dear. Go. Have
Okay.
fun.
Thank you. Just remember to feed it every 3 to 4 hours if I take that long. Okay, bye.
I got him. Bye.
Race off.
All right. Merla kind of collects your plates. So you're gonna be going over to the forge?
Yeah, I gotta sweat this hangover out. Oh god.
That's a good idea.
Alright. And what about you two? Am I going to get more company for today, or do you have your own business?
I'm with child.
You are with child. It should get some sunlight.
Alright, I guess I can take it outside.
Oz kind of stands and it's like, would you like to go for a walk? Through the hills, perhaps?
I would love to.
Offers you his arm.
He like...
Oh, you're going
It's
to
a family! They have a baby!
Oh, you're going to be... Oh,
It's
look
a
at you,
family
look at you,
walk!
look at you.
Ow!
Okay.
He put some of the grain
So-
like in his pocket.
As everyone separates for their first morning in Chesterna Hills to go through their various tasks for the day, and you all contemplate where you're going to go after this in your adventure, I'm going to close the session for today, because that is coming right up on our 4-hour mark.
Oh boy. Wow, what a time.
Good job, everyone.
We did
And
it!
I'm glad that we had like a no combat session that was like chill, but like
We got so much done!
Yeah, we did get a lot done.
We did get a lot done.
I
Very
love it.
proud.
Ah,
That was so much fun.
I prepped enough!
That was so much fun, and we learned a lot of information too
Yeah.
about like people and
Sorry, Chell.
stuff.
Sorry, not sorry.
you're not sorry.
Listen, it was either gonna happen today or Friday. It's gonna happen whenever you went to sleep.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Oh man.
Well,
Good game, guys.
good game.
GG. Thank you, Ink.
GG.
Okay. Let's see. Closing announcements. So next week we should be back with Brave, which is going to be run by Danica, who unfortunately was not able to play with us today. Work was very, very hard, so I would ask everyone watching to please send her all of your energy, because she is literally the nicest person in the world and doesn't deserve all of this stress.
She's so smart and good.
She
We
is
love
so
you, Danica.
We love you, Danica. We hope to see you soon. Hope to see you and play with you next week. Mystic Hour tomorrow.
No Mystic Hour tomorrow. Mystic
No
Hour is
Mystic
kind of
Hour
on
tomorrow.
a hiatus for the next few. It's on a temporary hiatus for the next few weeks until me and Lip figure things out, because he's also got things going on, real life stuff. So while we get that sorted schedule wise, kind of in the same boat as Wednesdays for a little bit.
All right. We have all of that good stuff coming up for our
Birthday week.
second birthday week.
Birthday.
I am so excited for that Play Till You Die game. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm gonna be so tired because I'm gonna be playing that and then Inside Check right after.
Make sure
You don't-
you
you don't
have a
have to be-
10-foot wooden pole.
It's necessary. Okay, but before we get too carried away, I would just like to remind everyone that when you're trying to get your gods to give you just a crumb, just a little smidge of attention, and all you're getting is silence and nightmares, maybe you should have added your proficiency bonus.
Oof. Notice me, senpai.
All right, everyone.
All right.
We will
Good night.
See you next
Thank
week.
you all for watching. Thank you, my players, for playing.
Thank you, Ink. We love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.